Ooh, I don't know. I don't know because I have so many kids that
They all get a million each.
you know what? Even then, it wouldn't really reach it. But we do have some record breakers that are going to be at risk because earlier on we did get some a team being able to get 29 eliminations. That wasn't in the finals. These record breakers right there are only for the finals.
Yeah, and that was none other than our E-Arena being able to get that on map number 1. Of course, they have a lot to contest to. They didn't get it through, so this is going to be super exciting. Can they be able to do that again?
I mean, I don't know if they're going to be able to. I'm looking at that Tony K, 53 eliminations. I don't know if anybody is ever going to be able to beat that because that man was on a tear during that tournament.
I mean, everything is on a tear during that moment, and just got to make sure we don't tear something behind this.
Talking about crazy stuff, we had some insane moments, especially during group stages, during survival. In case you missed it, let us just back it up a little bit. Let us just rewind. Not only with 7-1, didn't get a chance to make it here to the finals, but that boy almost ended up blowing himself up.
I mean, sometimes you just got to strategically place a nade right into your pocket.
Or sometimes you just want to call one of those cover flares and let it splash you.
And if you think about it, they still were able to do some incredible stuff, but of course, Alpha 7 is one of our teams that didn't make it through today.
Yeah, they didn't make it through. That could have been why, but Aura is one of those teams that made it here, and Sleepy is going to be hoping that he is not sleepy today because he's like, Lace, wake up. Because if he does end up doing that, it could end up costing them the championship.
It could definitely end up costing them the championship. And of course, all our teams today need to lock in and prepare for what's to come because it's going to be a bit of a grueling day for them all. But I mean, that's the news that we love to bring you. We want to bring you the action and the love, but we want to crush some keys most of all.
Yeah, I want to see which keys are going to be getting crushed. But in case you missed it, we do have special report Kalaris giving you the STC rewind.
But the thing is that Rondo, the first map, is like ridiculous. We saw a team get 39 points, a world record. Wow. And that team didn't even qualify in that group stage, which makes no sense.
That's wild.
We are very sorry to all our viewers at home. One of our casters got a little bit too comfy. Now, production, let's please throw it to Kalaris with the STC rewind.
I want a massage.
From PMWC, day 1 here at PWC 26 for the finals, and we have got ourselves an absolute treat. Here for the STC Rewind, we're going to look back at everything that's gone on so far, Max. Groups to start things off. Group A and B, the leaders looked fantastic coming through into the final.
Yeah, I mean, of course, looking at Group A in particular, it was the Pakistani domination with 4 Thrives getting so many points, and really the one word to describe their performance is consistency. Every single player putting points on the board, in particular, Valak, right, being the group MVP, was looking incredible, but so were Group B with Vitality.
Very dangerous indeed. The smiling assassin in Valak for sure. I think he looks fantastic. And yeah, Vitality on the opposite side of things, though. Record-breaking results, to say the least. Day number 1, 108 points for them, meant that they didn't really even have to matter what was going on in day number 2 for their groups, but they came out kind of swinging as well, finishing off at 148 points. I think just an insane result from them.
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible, especially looking at Federalis with the insane peaks he was doing there, just almost breaking the game at times. Incredible performance from them, and also the duo Ray. But looking now at the teams who are in second place of their groups, right, the Indian teams of Orangutan and also Godlike. One big question I do have today, Kalaris, is that they do not have the Smash ruling in their home region. So if they do get into a point where they can contend for that number 1 spot in day 3, how are they going to be reacting to that Smash ruling?
It's a good question, and for a long time, an infinite amount of time, in fact, they've never really truly been in a lobby quite this powerful. The chips are all down here at PMWC, so we'll see how they're going to be able to work that out. However, I think that some of their consistent play style, really locking down areas and then eventually being able to adapt as time goes on, hopefully they've had enough time to be able to even tweak some of those kind of results and kind of tweak some of those tactics to be able to push themselves all the way up to the top. Let's talk about the survival stage, though, because we had a wild survival stage. What do you think of the results?
I mean, Tiamo already winning that one. I was a little bit upset by their performance in the group stage, but you know what? They brought it back in that survival stage. And QZZ doing QZZ things, putting up big numbers. But me Milu, I wanted to see a player perform on the same level as QZZ on the international stage. Milu, a 1v4 versus RRQ, putting them down in that elimination stage and able to actually become the MVP of Survival Stage. I'm very impressed, but I feel like one of the biggest storylines were in the last few games, Kalaris, the teams were able to barely make it back up, and that has to bring up the conversation about Ulf.
Yeah, it really does. That last game, getting them over the finish line, and you could see the emotion and kind of the relief on their faces when they were able to get that victory. This is a team, Ulf, of course, that arguably coming in, a lot of pundits, a lot of experts had them in their top 5, if not trying to challenge for the championship as a whole. So for them to squeak in towards the end of the survival stage, it feels like some vindication has been done here for Ulf, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Every single player doing great. I mean, Aaron and Ketch doing great. But you know what? The player that I would say was the MVP of Ulf was Scarface.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. He came out of nowhere and said, you know what, guys, I got this one. I'll do it myself and qualify us into the grand final. So Ulf, right now, I would say I got that glimmer of hope, just like we had at PMGC last year or even PMGO Season 1 this year in Jakarta, that they can be on the podium and maybe break that second place curse.
And that's just a few of the world-class teams that are going to be representing here in the final for PMWC at EWC 26. You want to stay tuned. You want to see all of these teams fight for that grand prize pool.
Thank you, special reporter Kalaris, coming in with the information now. Let's talk about the club championship. AGAL got eliminated.
They did.
They are no longer in.
Lace, don't forget that we still have Vitality and we still have Aurora, that if they finish in the top 8 or if they end up winning, I mean, they'll get a cool 1,000 points for that CC.
Never interrupt me again, Seven. But that's fine. Glitter, with our CC update, is going to interrupt and on standby to bring us the club championship update.
As we head into finals for PUBG Mobile, and as we prepare for the penultimate championship weekend here at EWC, as is tradition, it's time for another club championship update, because this is what all of our clubs are fighting for. The title, the honor, the ability to etch their names in the history books of EWC. So let's talk about what that means for this weekend. Over on the Allianz Vault, we have the likes of Liquid, Falcons, AGAL, all fighting for points in their respective games, and honestly, they're going into semifinals today. Whittling it down to top 4, it's going to be a big one. Then at the STC Arena, a little bit of a repeat here because we also have Falcons in the running, and we're also keeping our eyes on Vitality, which could be a big one, as Vitality is in 4th overall in our CC leaderboard. But as we take a look towards our stage at PUBG Mobile, we get Vitality yet again. They are one of our big teams, expected to do well, but the real question is, will the likes of Four Thrives, Orangutan, or even Tiamba take those points away from them? Will Vitality be able to usurp Falcons or AGAL? This is the perfect week and opportunity for them to do so. We're going to have a lot of updates coming your way over the next couple days, and as we know more, of course, we'll make sure to let you know.
Thank you to our special reporting, being able to cut class and just do that CC update. Thank you, Glitter. But we gotta talk about Sony's story of the day here, because this is the finals, and there's some teams, Lace, that have just been outperforming like crazy. Vitality being one of those.
Of course, Vitality, they were able to get the exact same score that Four Thrives did over 2 days. So if you don't understand how much of a juggernaut team this is, well, then you better wait and lock in.
Yeah, another one that we saw there as well is Godlike. I personally have Godlike finishing in the top 5. This team, for a first international event from India, they have been performing so well. And is that Snacks Gaming that I see? Bye. Turn left. Can I say hello? Bye. It's good. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk to him later on. But we do have some more special reporters, none other than Maxman and Amatura. Let's see what they're up to.
And here we have it. We are here at the Analyst Corner for some good old PMWC 2026 at EWC 2026 breakdown. And I'm going to be joined by some co-analysts here to break down everything that might be happening this following weekend. First of all, we got Michael, Niptura, Jackson right here at the stage. How are we doing, Niptura?
Very well indeed. I'm not going to do what you want me to do. I'll save that for later. But for now, yeah, we're looking very good, excited for the finals. We all dressed up for the occasion. We are ready to go.
Yeah, with that said, looking at the teams, I know that Niptura, you really want to jump in on Godlike, because this team came out of nowhere in Group B and made it straight into the finals.
I mean, out of nowhere is a pretty good description of it. We were not expecting too much, simply because of the lack of experience compared to the other groups, right? The other players players, the other teams, but they performed very, very well. I mean, we had them coming in second in the groups overall, only by 1 point ahead of Aurora, you know, a few points behind Fourth Rise, who had a big group stage, and the back-to-back wins on Miramar and Rondo over the span of both days was just really, really nice. I really enjoyed how they've been playing. They play more compact, they look for those positions, and in a lobby like this is working out very well. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they got today.
I feel like a lot of people, especially when it comes to Godlike, are highlighting, you know, they're looking at S-Power, they're looking at Admino. I want to say Some in particular has been doing absolutely fantastic for the entirety of Godlike. So you can see a little bit of a B shot there, them getting ready for this event. But you know what? Godlike is one of the many teams that are going to be here trying to compete for that trophy this weekend. But you know what? I feel like we need an extra analyst possibly to join the desk right here. But we have to summon him.
Oh, yes.
Niptro, so you ready? 3, 2, 1. Vitality. Oh, no. Oh, didn't work. Okay, wait.
Okay,
Time
okay.
2, okay? Wait, we're going to do it one more time.
Yeah.
Vitality! Hey! So Vitality, what are we thinking, Blank?
Hi there, my name's Blank, special reporter coming in for Vitality so far, doing incredibly well. Razy and Razak, my boy Ray, as well as Federalis and Axel, looking fantastic at the moment. I think Axel's been in a huge amount of work, as has Federalis, opening up a completely new style of shotgun play, which looks completely ridiculous in Game 2. But that's my special report for Vitality.
Oh, thank you for the insight. Also, Axel, by the way, the IGL between some big numbers, especially on that one game against Hora on the beaches west of George Pole. So this team, with how impressive they were in the opening day of their respective group, which was Group B, right, Niptran and Blank, can we see something similar going into this one, Blank, Mr. Vitality?
Ooh, Mr. Vitality. Yeah, I do think that Vitality is going to do very well here. The spiritual successors, of course, but I do think they're going to do very, very well. I think that there's not a player on that team that doesn't look incredibly good at the moment. And the funny thing for me right now, Neptura, is that Razy and Razak aren't particularly the guys that are stepping up their heat, despite so much talk about them. Yeah. Axel and Federalis have come in looking very hot, and I think that's the most promising thing.
Absolutely. I think if you look at any of the stronger teams in globally, just the global circuit, you're going to see players that all have very, very aggressive gunplay skill despite their various roles, right? You don't have just one or two. It's very, very nice to see that come through for them. So, yeah, it's very, very strong looking. And also the fact that they can get so many wins, we were talking about that in the group stage, right? We get so many of those wins, it makes it interesting for that Smash rule that we actually could have a lot of hope for this team to actually come through the pressure and get that win.
Yeah, it's very nice, unlike Fourth Rise, they can actually get wins, because if they do gain contention for the Smash ruling and the trophy, actually that could put them in a really good contention to be crowned your PMWC 2026 champions. Now, we already talked about one of the Indian teams. I think it's time to focus on the other Indian team, which is going to be Orangutan. Niptura, you already talked about them, so Blank, Orangutan, what are we thinking today?
You know what? I think Orangutan, for them, I think right now they're looking very, very good. I think a lot of the emphasis, though, has to be on Aru, though. I got to talk to him a fair few times this event. Lovely guy, by the way. Really, really lovely guy. Great chatter. I mean, I talk a lot. I talk a lot, you see. And I think that's sometimes a problem for other people. But for Aru, good as me, I could just sit there and listen to him all day. But he's bringing a lot of the eliminations. He's also bringing a lot of the guidance to the squad.
Yes.
Now, there were a couple of moments. I think we're actually seeing on screen now one of those moments, which was a little bit difficult right now for Orangutan. They moved up on this one versus Flash. They struggled a little bit on the gunfight. However, they ended up winning that game. It looked a little bit shaky. I think that they solved a lot of the issues coming after that. But yeah, I do think the rest of the team needs to develop around Aru, essentially.
Yeah, I think Aru's got some great ideas and he's got some great direction. It's just that synergy that has to come through. I think probably there's a little bit of, I don't want to say the word panic, that's a very strong word, but when you are in these high pressure situations, it's your first PMWC, whatever, you are going to go, oh my God, they're everywhere. And you're going to have a little bit of a freak out, and they've really worked on that. They've solved so much of that. And so, yeah, it is looking really, really nice for them. So very, very hopeful for this squad to actually do big things here.
Yeah, very hopeful. We'll see how high they can actually rank up in the finals. But with that said, a final team I'd like to talk about here, which is actually the team I predicted to be the champion. So I'm sorry, guys, but I'm going to go for Team Flash. Team Flash, I think, is a team that has been getting better and better and better every time we see them play. And I feel like now they're at level, Black, where maybe a trophy is in the cards for these guys.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
Wait.
Predicted by Max. Womp womp.
Sorry. So they're going to be in 16th place.
Yeah, probably. To be fair, though, for Flash, I think that they did quite well, all things considered, because last time we saw them this year, they looked fairly unconvincing. They looked scared. They looked like they didn't have it in them from what was basically a rookie upstart squad who were testing a lot of other squads, right? Poking at them, nipping at their heels. They suddenly play this really passive game. I think some of that aggression's coming back now, and that's good news going in towards the finals.
Yep, go for it.
No, I do. I agree. I want to see more from them, though. I think in the group stage, you know, they've been heralded as a very, very aggressive, forward-playing team, and I think in the group stages we didn't see that as much as I was expecting to. I would like to see more of that in the finals, but you know what? It could be just a simple thing of, like a lot of teams do, they saving it for the finals, and so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to hold that against them. I want to see what they got here today.
They do kind of remind me of Fourth Rise in the sense that every player has that clutch factor, and it's especially interesting. They go from PMGC last year to qualifying because of an airdrop on Miramar, barely able to squeak their way into the finals. So now, actually being a team that consistently are able to qualify straight into the finals of these big international events. So Flash, I feel like, could be a big surprise, especially as they picked up the mantle of Deep Xavier earlier this year, right?
Yeah.
Could be.
Could be happening.
Also, last thing, chicken.
Whoa, chicken right there. There you go. Check him out. He's very cool. Check out the booth right here at EWC 2026. With that said, thanks so much for joining the analyst corner here for PMWC 2026. We'll throw it right back to Lace and 7WG.
Yes, thank you so much to our special reporters, Max and Neptura. I don't know where we got the budget to fit Blank in there. I thought we spent it on him saying Vitality 100 times. However, our players are now arriving and getting ready for the show. 7, I do believe we are missing one caster.
We are. Oh, not again. Not again. He ended up missing last year on the final day of PMGC. We cannot have that happen again. Let's send out our special reporter, Kalares, who's going to be looking for none other than John Allen.
Our senior reporter for PUBG Mobile here at PMWC, and a major problem has occurred. It seems we've let one of our commentators out in the wild here, and we've got to actually wrangle him and get him back in. So it looks like maybe a little bit of movement's going on here, actually. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to capture him. This is the problem with commentators. A lot of the times, they just go wild. They somehow get it. He's on the move. He's on the move. Okay, no, we've actually got to be able to try and find him as quickly as possible here. He seems to be hiding. I'm not exactly sure if we're going to be able to capture him. This specimen, in fact, actually has a microphone already. You can see he's dangerous. He's very dangerous. He has a microphone already. That means he's actually ripe for the commentator desk already. They might be able to actually capture him here. They've caught him cornered a little bit. I don't think he's very interested in it, but he might take to it. Let's see if we can place down some bait or something like that. Some bait actually might be able to work. Usually chicken dinners are the prime meal of a commentator here for PUBG Mobile. Will they be able to make it happen? This is a tense moment.
John Allen?
It looks... I think they might actually have it. They might have it. They might have the John Allen. It looks like... Oh! Did you see that? Get a close-up of that. Get a close-up of that. I think they've got him. I think they've got him. Unbelievable scenes here at PMWC. Oh, that was close.
As an Australian, I would have caught him a lot faster.
I'm just glad we caught him, okay? This man was on a loose. We weren't able to find him yesterday during the day off, and I'm just glad we're able to set some bait to actually find him.
Absolutely, he needs to lock in just as much as our players, 7.
They really do, because there is an alert right now going on, and that is that the players are ready. We are ready to rock and roll here at PMWC at EWC 26. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the finals, baby. I'm ready.
Months of preparation, thousands of hours played, and sacrifices have led to this point. Life-changing money sits on the horizon, and a legacy that dreams are made of.
We saw it in the group stage, we saw it in the survival stage. These teams are here for a reason, and every single one of them can actually clutch it all and become our PMWC champion.
Today marks the beginning of a 3-day gauntlet that each of our teams have to navigate. Each day more intense than the last.
Barney, I think we don't have to wait. The players look really ready, and it is time for us to welcome our finalists on the Gidia City grid, starting with Arena!
Oof Esports! Nongshim Red Force!
Al Hula Club Esports!
Tianba!
S2G Esports!
Nigma Galaxy!
Hora Esports!
Team Flash!
Godlike Esports!
Aurora Gaming!
Ida Esports!
Orangutan!
Team Vitality!
And finally, 4 Thrives Esports! We can't emphasize enough the importance of the next 3 days. On Sunday, we will crown the greatest team in the world. So start as you mean to go on.
Absolutely no room for mistake. If you want to be the best team in the world, you need to prove it from the very first day. The PMWC Finals at PMWC 2026 starts right now!
Players from all corners of the world laser focused on one thing, the title of PMWC champion. Fight smarter, adapt faster, and deliver when the pressure is at its peak. That is what it takes to keep this dream alive.
So welcome to the PMWC at PMWC 2026.
And RRQ are looking to do it here. Pushing up close and personal. Milu with the nade! Turning the tables! And he's doing this all by himself! What? It's the Swan Wipe 1v4 from Milu!
Let's put the 11th on the board. Looking for TZ, is it a self-denial? It might be. Get to double digits on the evens and burn yourself down to the ground. What a shutdown. 108 points in 6 matches. Nate misses, Darkin peaks. That's on target.
Headshot.
Good shot. Follow-up there. HG takes him away as Turney K falls. Mormon closes the gap in the shotgun standoff, but will he win it? No!
Are you kidding me? What a finish! It's Ida! S-Power is just insane. He's been throwing heat-seeking missiles all game long and opening the fight for his team. A full 4v4. S2G tried to catch a couple of their players off guard, but it's S-Power, baby. You can't shut them down that easy.
You can't stop S-Power, and you cannot silence Godlike in this moment. Adamino for the closing play as Godlike take this chicken dinner with ease!
That is how you do it here, folks. And you can see the look on their faces saying, make some noise, Paris. It's Godlike's time to shine.
You see on Rondo, it is madness in the Ox Factory.
Nice.
A big nade threaded on up, and it's finding 1 and 2. Falak charges on forwards, and they're cutting the rosters in half.
Another one right up in his face. They go wide. Top's moving around the side. Aurora, a difficult beast to handle. The run coming through from India, but it's not happening. They will not be silenced. They will not be shut up here. Aru still going strong. A tanky underneath, looking to get the shots in. But Flash moves around the side. He's whiffing the shots, unfortunately. But finally, they will hit the last shot. India grabs the back-to-back. From day 1 to day 2, this team looks clean.
It's time to crush some dreams of 10 teams. Can I get you to press this button and open up the iris? Oh, with a bit of vigor. I like it. I'd like you to pull on this in 3, 2, 1. Send them home. Let's go. There we go.
I don't think we could have set the stage better ourselves. So it's ironic that we were featured in that nice little collection of replays there, Blank. An incredible way to give you a glimpse into what's gone on over the past couple days. But it's going to get even more climactic here. The best of the best return to the lobby, and this is where dreams truly do become reality.
I'm slouching, but hopefully the players aren't, because this is a day, right? Day 1 always gives you the most freedom, the most chance to get a big buffer online without that stress, because we saw that come through in survival stage.
Yeah.
Teams were sweating, teams were shaking in their boots, but it's time to get boots on the ground over on Rondo very, very soon for our first match of the day. Who's going to grab that gargantuan point total? Can someone try and repeat something similar to E-Arena? Maybe not the same, because that's once in a lifetime type of a deal.
Well, if there was a time to pull it out, try and elevate a world record even further, hey man, there's no better stage for it, no better crowd, no more excitement and anticipation than right here, right now, live from the Qiddiya City grid at PMWC, at EWC 2026. 3 years of intense competition, twice we've had brand new champions crowned, and this year we'll get another one.
Never going to be the same here at this rate. With Yangon being Yangon, it is time to crown a new victor. Who's going to be the defending champion? Will they be able to defend it next time? But right now, all that matters is getting those points online. Playing path is in the air for day 1 of finals. Match 1, Rondo. Let's get it started.
Energy in the arena already. It's good to hear you, Paris. Let's keep that energy going throughout the day. We'll set the stage for you as we get our playing path on board for this one. We've had some pretty good games of Rondo, mate. You touched on E-Arena there. That was something to be remembered. But the consistency and the level of aggression we've seen from these teams back in their respective groups was intense. Now we put that all together. A big hodgepodge of talent. They're going to be stepping over each other, Blanked.
I mean, they will. They will have to, because there's going to be bodies on the ground shortly, as soon as these players start dropping in. E-Arena here, though, and teams do need to be worried. They've been taking this little odd stadium drop where they've been searching out players from different teams on their res beacon positions. Now, if you are remembering our game versus Alpha 7 just the other day, on Survival Stage Day 2, they had a real tough time of it. They were able to hold out, but E-Arena made their lives extremely difficult, but it wasn't just them. So let's see what E-Arena can get done, because a lot of teams are going to be taking those res beacons off towards the northwest side with this playing path as the fights do open up towards Yulin.
just how hot are these drops going to be and how much aggression is going to come out instantly. We see that opening knock from the side of 4 Thrives as Razy on Vitality starts to let some bullets fly. 2 players on Orangutan instantly being knocked off their feet as well. That's 3 points achieved for Tiamba in a matter of seconds here, Blank.
QZZ already hitting the knocks left, right, and center. Milu up to 4. QZZ on 2. 6 eliminations in 1 minute 47. That is an incredible result already for Tiamba, and they should be able to get the easy res peak, and they've already cleared out most of the damn teams in that position.
Yeah, that's an unbelievable start for Tiamba. A powerhouse in the survival stage, and again delivering early into Rondo. Orangutan being forced out as well as Hora look to try and claim a few more points for themselves. 3 points for Hora, 3 in the back pocket for Nonshin Red Force, and that big 6 total for Tiamba already.
Oh my days, I mean, just coming through, Milu was just slashing at them. He pretty much cut through the entirety of 4 Thrives there, left them in ribbons by the end of it. I'm pretty sure he was up against guns as well, but he just brought the knife close quarters outside the pagoda. Real samurai here on Rondo.
Start as you mean to proceed, it seems then for Tiamba on today's games. Sleepy taking the clash back over to Zizzy there from Nonshin. Going to be able to force him out early.
Nice.
Oh, that's a great lineup, bud. Lord coming swiftly in with that one onto S2G.
Gorgeous stuff here. But for S2G, got to chat with him for a little bit. My boy was actually getting a haircut when I was talking to him, but they were saying that they have the aggression, and that's what they're bringing here in the finals. It's what Ulf kind of lacked a little bit of. But for their Turkish team, they were looking to bring that aggression over in the group stages. They're looking to bring it again here. They've had a lot of time to study those teams, but Lost moves up and already is down. It's Kamikaze, the man with it all to give. 1 nade, 1 dream.
Ooh.
Good damn.
Yeah, it's nice bit of chip damage on the peak. Oh, wow. Lord trying to lean into it, but the pre-fire back from Kamikaze on low HP will at least secure that one. Ralph goes in aggro, though, with the shotty and absolutely pumps them full of buckshot.
Good stuff there. Solkay, at least at distance, is able to recall the team back into action. We do have a Western circle. We didn't get to talk about too much. Flash already has tops in that region, so Jiao Ting currently covered, but that place can hold a lot of teams late game. Eren now coming against Win, bears them out HP, but at distance, it's Milu once again. Tiamba up to 8 probably after this.
This is the dream start for Tiamba. And Milu, the fact that he's got 6 individual eliminations alone, mate, he was just popping off back in the games we'd seen previously. If he feeds the hot hand and can keep this going throughout the whole day, good luck.
It's the buffer that we were talking about. And there's no luck involved, but there is luck involved over on the Lucky Spin, which you can join in with us in-game right now for the 2026 PMWC, for the exclusive 2026 PMWC tournament set, which you can see on screen regularly in-game. Make sure to try your chances just like QZZ and this spray down with the S12K. We are looking at 2 eliminations per minute.
Unreal reactions as well. Coming out swinging today. We know mechanically they're very gifted as individuals, but they're putting it all on the line. And hey man, that's the way to do it, right? We were touching on the fact if you can have a huge pop-off game on Rondo, the extra buffer of points from the sheer quantity of additional eliminations you can garner from this battleground, it's worth its weight in gold, especially in a 3-day finals environment like this. You gotta get in there and get stuck into the thick of it, and Tiamba are doing just that.
Again, for Tiamba, their biggest success in the survival stage was the fact that they started out so incredibly hot, where it felt like all the weight was off them a lot of times. At Milu making that 1v4 look real easy, I think that came from the fact that they had nothing to lose at that point. They were already in. They're just pushing a little bit further there. We haven't talked about it too much so far on the cast, but we do have Smash ruling this event. And not only does that mean that, yes, you can win technically, game 2, but it also means the further you are ahead, the harder it is for teams to catch up to you to also get into that Smash ruling. So we are looking for more similar result to 4 Thrives as well as Vitality in terms of how far they sent themselves ahead in those rankings to make it difficult for any team to catch up to really
engage that smash ruling on the final day. Might be coming down to match 6, honestly.
Yeah, it will be a fun little storyline to see how that affects things going into the last day of competition. How big of a barrier that'll be, and really if other teams will have to rise up to the occasion for it to even be a potential pipeline for them. That's one for the future though, but now it's in the back of your mind. You have that context with just how much these early points matter for some of our squads. Two sides that you touched on there, though, of course, being Vitality and 4 Thrives. They were dominant in both of their respective groups. Easily the best squads we saw when it came to how consistent they looked and how aggressive they were. Yeah. Vitality even kind of completely blowing away what we thought was the upper limit when they then played their group, right?
I think they knocked it out by 1 point, but even that 1 point is a hard point to squeeze out in such a short amount of games. For Tiamba, it's a little less impressive, I would say, just because you are playing with the dregs coming through from the group stage. We already did send what we assume to be our best 10 teams forward there. Yeah. Even so, Tiamba still looked very strong, and for them, it was more a case of switching it on in those moments. And they've done exactly that. It looks like all the lights are on at home right now for Tiamba. They are burning the midnight fuel. It's crazy. Actually wild. Speed at which he was, the speed at which he was like, so was that a 1v4 again actually? Now I'm thinking about it. Technically,
it feels like it is, especially when you then factor in, by the way, we had the one clean 1v4 he won. We then had a 1v4 attempt towards the end of survival stage that resulted in a winning free elims to going out as the last guy. Yeah, like the conversion rate we've had on raw 1v4s from him has actually been unbelievable.
I think we're more astonished that that might be a 1v4. I mean, we didn't even clock it because it's like, is he just doing this repeatedly now?
Just full-on butcher blade coming out from Elu, chopping everyone to bits. Crazy.
Love to see it. Circle goes over towards that northern side. A bit of an awkward res beacon on this one as well, down towards the lake. Definitely possible to go for, but you get caught out on the bridges coming out from that area a fair few times here, Jackie, and also there will be teams playing around that spot, trying to hold teams out. Orangutan, though, nice rotate on the north side, will be able to get them further into the circle. Tiamba, Vitality all on the back foot here, as well as Ulf. Aurora holding a 2-2 split. I think they realized because they're so far down towards the south, likely better just try and clear their back angles and then look for maybe a major rotate on the west or the east side later on.
Shades of stadium for E-Arena, a position they'd love to play towards in a final circle, but let's see if they can win out versus Orangutan. Straight through the door, and it's easy cleanup on the opening 2 players. Arrow and Wizguard down in a matter of seconds. Back down to a duo once again.
4 Thrives taking down a tanky there as well. Which leaves Orangutan just on one singular player, AKOP, who is sending for a res beacon. I think he might go far Bailey on this, actually, Jackie. I don't think he's going to stop off early over towards the lake. Like we said before, you get a res off there. Teams know it's happening. They will hold you out. So he is forced to go for the long rotate. But honestly, for Orangutan, it's not terrible because they can just swing back in from that northern side. And it's fairly free with where most of the teams dropped off down towards the south.
Yeah, thankfully, he's got just enough time. Pulls slightly further out as well, hedges his bets as he goes up towards the top of the north side, going to get that recall in. See Vitality on screen here as well. Just the one elim to start us off with, Razy. I mean, you said it yourself, mate, doing your little special report on Vitality. Razak and Razy, that's been a hell of a duo. They're like the Cray twins, bro. You're just terrified when you see them coming at you.
Yeah, you are. I mean, one of them bringing the double hammers as well. It's a bit of a nightmare, honestly, and they are always looking for a proper shootout. But it's nice to see Axel as well as Federalis. I mean, Axel really astonished me. Because there had been so much talk about Razy and Razak, and Federalis has also had a massive amount of tenure throughout the entirety of PUBG Mobile, but Axel was just swinging and not missing. So that's what gives me a lot of hope, and I'm very, very excited to see this team perform as this tournament goes on, just because of how good all of them have been playing individually and as a unit. Taking a look at Godlike, though. They're over towards that center side. I think Godlike showed us something different from their region. Honestly, they had some great aggression. I think they've been making little adaptations here and there, figuring things out as they go along. But genuinely, overall, we're impressive. We're impressive. They were second best inside of their group, only beat out by Vitality. And to be fair play, I mean, fair play.
Vitality really did get in there, mate. You got a little crunch down the zone here as well, pulling further down. A couple big names amongst the dead center of it all. Godlike, as you touched on, 4 Thrives, Vitality, Enigma Galaxy as well. The representation from Aurora, another side that could have some surprises in store for us the longer this one goes on.
Yeah, Aurora, they just seem to have this capability to choke in the finals.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's their major issue. Every single player on that team has greatness inside of them. It just seems to dwindle a little bit once we get to a final. And we've been asking for that not to be the case for the longest time. And to get to the point now where I just don't believe in it, which is sad. But they are consistently always here, and you can't really put them down too much for that. The fact they're in most of the finals is like, that's already a big achievement. Reefus, though, opening up over towards Yasser from Alula. Tiamba's cut out on that eastern edge. Now, there's a lot of these big pillars involved inside the circle, as well as stadium over towards that northeast side, which is a bit open on the outer edges. It slopes down into it, so if you are E-Arena, you can kind of swing past here. They also know this area very well. It is their drop spot, but 4 Thrives have beaten them to the punch here down towards their southwest from stadium.
Excited to see what the form of Fury is going to be looking like in a final situation again as well. They were massively coming alive, dude. Felt like it was way better in terms of the decision making. The communication was on point. A lot of the fights we witnessed from them. Igor as well, just playing so brilliantly with some of the individual plays. Feel like a whole new man showed up. We spoke about this big man, though, and he's back on our screens again. Milu scouting around, seeing if he can get a line of sight, potentially. Just playing close towards the geometry here at the cliff face. It's Ulf that aren't too far away.
Eagle and Aching desperate to get some elims on board. I mean, man, every single one over on Milu and QZZ, but these guys are the fraggers on side. Aching, a lot of times playing off the back of him. Eagle, very, very good at playing that anchor style. Generally is the last player to go down. Plays that survivalist very well for them as well. But yeah, you're right, Furia looking good. Igor's, I think, was a big surprise.
Yeah.
They've got big names on that team like Chief, Ayala, Silence also doing a lot of good work. But yeah, Igor's was just really giving it to a lot of these squads. Now we're getting in towards our later circles with quite a lot of damn teams still involved. We talked about Jiaotin earlier on. It can house a ton of teams. It is uncomfortable to play in, and swinging from apartment to apartment is not always easy. And there's a lot of difficult windows and little places to pitch nades in. We can't quite get those full finishes on. So I'm curious to see how this will play out. I think it's going to be a little bit of a passive game going towards the end, but you do have to get in towards Jiaotin.
See over on the side of the stage, the Enigma Galaxy fans getting quite excited. But meanwhile, amongst the battleground, it's S2G that feel the hammer crash down on top of them from Nonshin Red Force. The hero of Hyunbin starting it out well. And only one man in last, forced to bail out and try and keep their dreams alive as he breezes out of action. There's Aurora as well, clashing against Ida Blank.
I mean, Ida tried to get in on the northeast side, which I think is, at this point, a little bit too late. They got crunched in by Vitality as well as Aurora. I think you somewhat deserve that coming into this stage of the game. Jiaotin's still far on the western side, but because it's such a big amount of landmass with a lot of places to play, you do see a lot of teams confirming here early, but you sort of want to be on that end where Aurora is, Vitality, where there is those clear exit points across the road.
A lot of other teams have to take something a little bit more unfortunate. Fourth rise though, Joker stepping up to the plate here, spraying through the smoke. There's one close. He's giving himself away though, Jackie.
Yeah, this is risky, bro. IQ had to be so swift with the shotgun here. It's Joker just teasing them, dancing around on top of the rocks. So much damage already done to 4 Frieds. This would be a hellish way to go down. And that's how they fall in our opening game. The Arena.
The Arena down, but back on board with Tiamba. Milu buying the first, as per usual. Scarface desperate against it, but he's just pushing up. A-King will find another shot. Solus is down. This is looking very, very bad for Ulf. And Tiamba puts up more points. Milu on a fat 7 so far.
It's not going to stop either. They want even more. Squeeze whatever points they can get out of this one. Aaron had to tuck his tail and absolutely bolt it. Finds a lone rock in a field and gets his head down. Turns his attention back up onto him though. Few shots as he dumps the magazine towards Milu. And someone needs to stop him, Black.
Milu is just out of control this game. You're right, needs to be leashed. QZZ still taking some damage here. I'm kind of curious from where. But if it's Fury, you're actually taking a couple of pot shots over towards them. Aaron not letting up. Just about press over the top of that ridge side. They're going to take the blue for a little bit to try and deny those sightlines. They make their way over towards the pagoda. Just about in here, Jackie. Difficult spot to play. Curious to see how it does work out. Aurora, it seems like both them and Vitality have been tossing a couple of curveballs at one another. But Aaron does find Eagle. Goodness me, still being a nuisance on that east side.
Fair play, man. He's thinking, you want to try and ruin this for us on game 1? We'll at least make it uncomfortable. Force out the utility, see what he can scrap through onto them. Can't really make a move towards that recall, the zone coming in, and that's going to really crunch up away from all of them. Still dead center for Vitality.
Yeah, Vitality's actually in a really good spot here. Like I said before, it does give them that capability to move out over towards that northeast side of Knees B, but they also can crunch every single team on that western side. There was one player left remaining from Ida. It is Darkin. He is over on the eastern side of Joutin, just hanging out for the time being, but that does kind of save grace for Vitality, because they'll hear the shots immediately if someone tries to rock over towards Darkin, just give them a brief opportunity to reassemble and reassess how they want to play off on that eastern side. Replay here from Federales, just instant shots. I think this has been a key factor for Federales throughout the entire tournament as well. Reaction speed. He is quick with it.
It was quick and on a disgusting angle as well, so good plays. Oh, Federales, no one clears it!
Hello?
He doesn't get the playoff!
Tiamba?
They turn around back onto it and Federales falls! What's gone on there?
This is an insane push from Tiamba, by the way. They have practically mostly lived it. Only QZZ goes down. I don't know how Tiamba is here. They immediately scarpered from that south side, and they took the most bold push. I was like, goodness me, Vitality's going down. And I was like, goodness me, Vitality's going down to Tiamba, of all teams.
Mate, this is lunacy. Milu's looking for the nade as well, wants to really commit to this. Meanwhile, the last man from Ulf goes down. They fall second into our first game. Milu priming the nades. Oh!
Nice, good nade from them. Hits it back. Axel and Razak still up and kicking. That nade looked dangerous. Milu's down, tries to crawl his way back in towards the smoke to mask his presence here. QZZ still alive. Last of a player up, probably the one you want to see as well here for Tiamba. 14 eliminations this game so far, though still decent. That is greedy. Vitality's gonna let it happen?
Oh, mate. He's gonna get it in. The res is gonna get him back up. The insane bit was as well, it was the nades from Aurora from all the way in the backline that got that initial knock back over onto Milu. Vitality have just been caught in the middle of it all. Most aggressive game of badminton with nades being bounced over the top of their heads. Molly in round the corner, QZZ with a nade back.
He's just going for it.
Angle, good night.
No way.
Good night. The shotgun knocks them both out.
This is what I can't believe about QZZ, because he's like, I've run out of grenades. You see so many players just step back and be like, that's it then. But he's like, if I can't do it with a nade, I'm just facing. I'm fully facing. Now Aurora, they're pushing on the sidelines. Can Tiamba hold 2 versus 4 here? It's a tough one. The opening grenade is not good, but Reefus is taking a ton of damage. Top bullet finds at least find QCC, and it seems like Milu will also go down. But 16 eliminations, a fearsome game, even going out in 11th.
And I'm sure you can hear that. The entirety of the arena here in Paris lighting up. A spectacle to start here on game one of Rondo, and it's Tiamba that lead the charge. Now out of the running, let's see if anyone else can try and mirror their success with what remains.
Flash moving over towards Aura. He's on the south side. They're kind of fighting for nothing on this one as well because they need to leave at some point in the near future. Jiggle. Fair bit of damage. Flash still got bows in the back line here, lining up a grenade inside the warehouse. Hard to pop these off the wall though because of all the concrete inside. Godlike though dealing with Nongshim Red Force. What? Tizzy just lets him run straight into the barrel.
God damn. Shotgun straight to the cranium. Blows him away. Godlike clapped back upon from Schweppes in the distance as well. Gets an angle onto him. This is looking tiresome for both teams. I mean, Nongshim down to just the duo. Godlike with only one man left remaining. And Alula, they've seen the blood in the water. They want to see if they can roam over. They smell potential points here.
Why not? Honestly, grab them where you can. Alula sends up Yasser. Nongshim Red Force has not got the reset online at all. Still priming nades upstairs. There's going to have to be a big hole. Tizzy on the outside. Luckily, that Molotov is not on target. Tizzy's just going down. What are we doing?
Wait, this is nutty out there. Tried to drop off the top of the rafters, spamming the shots. It's all gone.
I feel like Tizzy just panicked.
I think so.
You just get the res in, bro. Drop the smokes, get the reses. They missed the first molly. At least challenge the res. Goodness me, man, you're going to go down to a perfectly placed Molotov here from Alula. I mean, hats off to these guys. They currently control the entirety of the northern side to themselves. Irina looking to put up another good point here. Aurora playing with our hearts right now. Opening up with maybe a gargantuan game. Leading them to believe it is possible once again for Aurora.
Enigma Galaxy coming out swinging as well. Might have been a bit quiet in terms of the overall aggregate elims we've seen to this point, but we know it's a team that can deliver with some consistency late game. They've got nades as well. Oh, the red zone forming on top of the arena. Thankfully for them, a little bit of deployable cover will make all the difference. Turney K in the back trying to keep his eyes on what's going on, but if you flick to the elim feed, you can see Doc's doing damage. The scalpels come back out for Aurora. And Blank, it was 16 for Tiamba, but Aurora now on 14 elims. They might be able to lap them.
Aurora have been just stamping away here. Reefus again does find Aru, leaving AKOP inside. Will be able to grab win. Actually didn't even grab that. Top was able to steal it. But for OG, they live a lot longer than expected. But with 0 eliminations, they will not get a huge amount off this game other than the placement points involved. AKOP inside. Has to move soon. Might just end up denying the point here. Reefus spraying in. Has 217 bullets as well. So they have had a lot of loot crates to pursue and peruse.
Akop just trying to keep himself sustained and run the clock down on this one as long as possible. See if he can deny it out to the blue potentially, because if he goes running in there, that's just another point for Aurora.
He's trying to get an extra placing on this one, but I don't think anyone else is going down anytime soon. Still more. He's mistimed it. Yeah, unfortunate. I think he thought that the angle was bad for him, so pulls off the first aid kit there. Sadly, not able to rank up once again. If he'd waited a little bit longer, maybe he would have ranked up over E-Arena here, who will go down shortly, I imagine. Turney K not able to weather the pressure here from Alula, who have been impressive this tournament for a team that was kind of down on their luck last year. I don't think a lot of people had high hopes for this squad. They have come into EWC looking fairly decent. Like, a lot of work's been going on for this squad. A lot of practice in the meantime. But Enigma Galaxy up in top 3. A rocky group stage for them, but we're still able to grab those points. And I do attribute some of that to Coops. He is a nuts player on side.
He's been a big King Cooper for this team, bro. Wearing that crown with some of the plays he's making. He wants to slam down on the off-angle peak behind the vehicle here. Alila trapped, cowering. One by one, they eat the bullets and they fall.
Huge step up for Enigma Galaxy, and enough time to fix their HP as well before any other fights are forced. The only solo player from Furia, he got just trapped in the ditch between our two teams that are going to scrap for the dinner, and Top finds that one for an extra elim.
Just instantaneous shots coming through. So we're down to Aurora. Reaper swings very wide here, over towards the northern edge. And hold both positions. An awkward angle like that could make them very worried. Has a little bit of hard cover here, but it is outside the zone. Gonna wrap back, but at least got the info on side. Coops tries to hit the shots, has to go for the reload here. Gonna go for another as he passes on by. Again, I do think for Enigma Galaxy, Coops is a really big deal. Not just on his own, though. It's the fact that Lord has someone to play off.
Yeah.
Lord is also a very aggressive player, but Ralph and Satan, they like to take it slow, and that's great, and it works out, but you do need someone else to move forward and bank off of one another. So for Enigma Galaxy, I do think this is the perfect setup right now for them. Zol will move forward into the smoke line. 17 eliminations on the game. A teaser, potentially, from Aurora. And we'll hold our breath for it.
Ooh.
Nice. Just unreal.
It's greatly timed from Joel.
The shrapnel hitting hard.
He knows.
Enigma.
He knows, Jackie.
Look at the lineup. Wants to get it behind the cover flare. Barely, but they bait him out enough. That's more chip damage. Coops on half HP.
Molly.
Could be good.
Oh, this is annoying. This is very frustrating for Coops. It's really slowing them down. Giving quite a bit of time for Aurora to reposition off the back of this as well, because both the front targets have been distracted, discombobulated in the chaos. Thought it might be a little harder for Aurora to get back into the circle. They also know the north side's free after that original rotate from Reefus. Ralph had to go back up that angle. But they have all the knowledge in the world going forward here. They've opened up the full library on this game.
A lot of nades being baited out here by Coops as well. He's down to 2 nades and 1 Molotov. Ralph actually being isolated from his off-angle peek round the backside. That's half his HP gone. The vehicle detonates in front of him. One Blessing's got a little bit more cover to try peek off of, but no easy rotation.
Still the 4v4 here. Utility down to nothing on side of most of these players. It will just be a dry gunfight, and honestly, on top form, I do think Aurora beats them out on that. Coops and Lord, though, deadly duo. Prime at the 2 nades. Doc is up front. Is this the dockening once again? Takes 2 nades. Just will tank them. But there's 2 more coming, and I'm not sure he'll be able to do the same on the next. They both go wide. He's going to push forward into the smoke. We'll have to swing back, but one player goes down the back lines. It is Top, and now Aurora's down to 2. Enigma Galaxy is making this happen.
They're standing tall right now. They want to convert this one into a chicken dinner win on game 1 as 2 of Aurora's players buckle under the pressure.
It's over.
Ruthless falls. It's all down to the last man in Joel. They need to isolate the peak as he hits Lord heavy, but he's gone. Cut short.
Oh,
the Aurora is gone.
That is insane. That is insane, Jackie. I got to eat my words on that one as well. I mean, for Enigma Galaxy, what a good game. Did say, though, Aurora do like to choke.
The crazy thing is, it was probably the most fitting head-to-head of 2 teams we could have.
Yeah.
Similar contrasted play styles, the way they split off, confident their 2v2s, the off-angle aggression, but I started to get worried, man. Pointing to the map feed, seeing Doc charging in. Slight timing on the nades, it all collapses.
It's the docketing. It's happening again.
Bro, just absolutely come alive on that one.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. Actually wonderful stuff. I still think Aurora played that game very, very well, though. I think when you watch them in those moments, they are so clean on the shots here and there. I think it's just a little bit of a stumble towards the end there where you're trying to pull yourself out of those buildings. That is hard, getting back across the road. They don't have a huge amount of space to play with. Enigma Galaxy also has the high ground, so they set up well on this one. But yeah, good stuff from Enigma Galaxy. Again, Lord and Coops, though. That is a great duo. We're seeing a lot of fantastic duos be born here over at EWC and really spread their wings into these matches.
You can see him enjoying it as well. Ralph enjoying the celebration from the fans behind them there. Everyone in the arena popping off with Enigma Galaxy taking game 1. Stay tuned for even more.
Welcome to the front of stage. My name's Barney Banks and I'm joined by S2G's very own Badish. Badish, how's it going, man?
Fine, bro, you?
I'm very well, thanks. I mean, let's talk a little bit before we get into the nitty-gritty of the teams and how things are going for you guys. Let's talk a bit about Paris. How's the Esports World Cup been for you so far?
Paris is amazing, bro. Eiffel is so good. The castles are Notre Dame, the Pantheon. Everything is good at the Paris. But Arena is more than good. There is, I don't know. It's my first time at the World Cup and it feels so good.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your team, S2G. Let's talk about the preparations coming to EWC. Were you guys, preparing here on site or did you boot camp in Turkey? What was the plan?
Just we did boot camp at the Istanbul. We have a gaming house at the Istanbul. And before tournament, we go to China, the PMI Macau invitation tournament. And I don't know, I feel we're gonna take this.
You feel like we're gonna get this? Yeah. Well, S2G's run through the group stage was really good. Now we're in the finals. How are the team feeling? Are they nervous? Are they excited? Like, what's the vibe from the team right now?
They seeing me, my players are seeing me. Maybe we're gonna get the first place, maybe we're gonna get the sixth place.
Oh,
they
wow.
don't know. Yeah, but I think we're gonna handle this.
It's a very strong group of finalists, isn't it? So if you get on a roll, like momentum is a big thing in this game. If you start playing well, you could take it all. But do you have faith in them? Do you think they can do this?
Yeah, I believe them.
I believe too. Badish, thank you so much for joining me in this interview. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the event and we'll see you later.
See you.
Back to you guys.
Day number one in serious business here now for PMWC at EWC 26. And what better way to start it off than I have two legends here from India to talk about what's happened so far as well as what may be to come. So, of course, I have Admino and I have Aru here as we have Godlike and, of course, Orangutan going to be representing from India. So I guess I'll ask you, Admino, first. You guys must have watched the survival stage. What did you think about the teams and gameplay overall from the survival stage?
It was kind of little passive, like the previous group were too much aggressive, or maybe they were one more chance, that's why they were aggressive, and this was a survival stage. But I think Tianba got the momentum and the top 6 were expected, as we have decided already in the podium thing that we have a fun activity over there.
Yeah.
And I think Alula gave a little bit surprise, and I hope so they perform good in grand finals also. But I'm hoping for Tianba to carry forward the momentum that they have already got in survival stage.
How about you, Aru? What did you make of the survival stage?
We tried to grab as many things as we could from the playstyles and the lobby structure to get a better understanding and to be able to predict better what the structure of the finals lobby would look like. And obviously we don't really fear anyone, but yeah, there are many respectable opponents that we need to respect in game as well, as much as we should, not more, not less. So yeah, we are confident coming to the finals and looking at the survival stage. We know that when teams have like only one last chance, it's like they play more in pressure, and yeah, that's it.
All right, so I wanted to actually ask a bit of a fun question since we've got two fantastic teams here. I'll start with you, Aru. If you had to take a player from Admino's team and add them to your roster, who would you pick and why?
Maybe Espoir, because he's really consistent.
Okay. Same question to you, Admino. Who would you take from Aru's team and why?
Aru himself, because he's a good idea.
What do you think about that? You think you're a good IGL? You think that's fair?
I don't know, I just work.
All right, so kind of final thoughts, kind of look at the finals as a whole here. I'll start with you, Admino. Well, what's your expectations here for the final? Obviously, it's an amazing lineup of 16 teams, arguably one of the best lineups of all time here at PMWC. So how do you think your chances are here?
Well, I wouldn't be saying anything. I'll just prove it by performing over it.
Perfect. How about you, Aru? What are you thinking for the final?
I'm just here to play and enjoy the 18 games because I love this game. I don't want to feel any pressure or, set unnecessary expectations from myself. If we are going to enjoy the game, inside the game, then we are definitely going to perform well as well.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me and best of luck today.
Thank you, Kalaris, for that amazing interview there with Admino and none other than Aru. But it does end up coming down to Aurora at the end. Even though Enigma Galaxy won, congratulations, Enigma Galaxy. I gotta give this team some props because we're finally seeing the MVPs show up for that squad. But Enigma Galaxy, Coops, especially at the end, what a surprise for them being able to come out with a win.
It's so nice. Just in my notes, I just have Coops because that's all you gotta say, really. I do. Can confirm. Yeah, see,
Confirm.
see that? Yeah.
I can't read that.
Yeah, my handwriting's not great. But Coops was awesome. I really love the jump that they're coming through throughout that game, right? They played on that edge side. They waited for their moment. They bided their time. And what I loved particularly here, Max, was their push onto EA was not super aggressive. All they wanted was space inside the zone. They didn't go for that full push and that full clear of the team. They're just like, hey, we want some space. We're going to take it from you, take a couple of points as well, and then wait some more. I really liked that from them.
I have an idea, but this is just pure speculation. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I'm like, maybe they slowed down the fight to E-Arena, hoping Al-Ula would go for a third party, and then they could let them fight each other and pick off the rest. I don't know if that was the actual reasoning, but it's how it worked out in the end, and because of that fight in particular, they get a 23-pointer tied with Aurora Gaming.
Lace, and we get just pure aggressiveness right off the bat. This feels like a PMWC finals, baby. As 3 teams were able to get 13 or more eliminations. Aurora with the 17. Tiamba started off hot as well.
Man, I did not like, I mean, you know, we came out of that survival. It's just not, I just love the fact, right? I'm just getting so excited, so passionate here, that the fact that they carried on the same momentum that they had. I mean, it was exceptional from them. Obviously took the hot drop seriously, which, you know, shout out, love a hot drop taken seriously, and were able to capitalize and obviously recover the team. And this is, it's just a crazy storyline from them, from bottom to the top. And I mean, I'm so excited to see what they can do next.
Yeah, for Tiamba, they're looking to carry that momentum that we saw out of them in survival. Something that you actually enjoyed watching that game is the plan B, the adjustments that Tiamba was able to do, Max.
Because they had a great hot drop, right? I think it was, what, 9 eliminations after the hot drop? Absolute mad start for these guys. And then they start losing players. They want to go for the recall, which is usually Tinglong Garden. But then Hora, coming out of nowhere, looking to chase down the recall player, which usually is Eagle in Tinglong Garden. And Eagle instantly, instant response, seeing we don't want to go out to Hora. We're going to go for an Eastern rotation, a bit out of their way. But by doing so, he gets the entire team back up, and they get 16 eliminations off the back of that. Eagle, definitely, maybe not in terms of elims, but the MVP of the game in terms of what he allowed his teammates to do this match.
Allowing the team to be able to come back, allowing the team to just be able to just be there for support. Allow the other players to just frag out. And for anybody that had Tiamba, Enigma Galaxy, or Aurora in your predictions, congratulations, because those teams have been performing quite well. If you haven't already, make sure you check out the EWC Play app. Go put in your predictions. You could end up getting some rewards there depending on what your predictions are. And no surprise here that it is Milu from Tiamba with the MVP once again. 8 eliminations. This man is just non-stop right now.
He is, you can't stop this man. He's just gonna go from better to better to better performance. Here we go, the head-to-head. You're seeing here 16 eliminations versus 17 of Aura. And if I'm not mistaken, Milu had at least 8 or 9 of those. So,
you know how you just had some notes and it was just Coops, just Milu. Man, this man's just chasing that MVP at this point.
He is. He absolutely is. QZZ, though, shout out to QZZ. That 1v2 onto the rest of Vitality. He was wiped out by Aura like seconds later, but yeah, it's some really, really good stuff there. There's a lot more players on the team than just Milu that are really fragging out.
I mean, I was wondering going to this, are we going to get group stage Champion? Are we going to get survival stage Champion? Clearly, with its opening performance 7, it is survival stage Champion in the finals.
And we're hoping that that's going to be the case. If you're a Tiamba fan, you're going to be looking really happy. If you're a Fourth Rise fan, Fourth Rise, it's looking for a comeback here. Same with OG, but let's see what's going to be happening here on the second game of PMWC at EWC 26 Finals.
Thank you, Seven. Great breakdown there, recap of what we saw on our screens live in Game 1 of Rondo. Starting to get a little bit louder in here, but Paris, I want to know, how loud can you get? Let's get some noise going!
It's a good crowd. It's a real good crowd here we got here in Paris. Supporting all their teams. I mean, the Enigma Galaxy crowd, they've been loud. We'll see if they can get louder. As Enigma Galaxy are doing fairly well here so far. It's really, really nice to see. I think, again, mad props to Coops. First of all, mad props to actually being here. The guy's dodged so many events at this point. Finally gets to play some matches. But yeah, the rest of the team's also looking fantastic. Ralph looking a little bit more reserved, I would say, in the gameplay, which is good to see. Holding those angles. I actually liked where he set himself up. It became a real nuisance. The big thing was, didn't immediately go down either. And I think a lot of times that's all he needs to do, because he knows the layout of the land. He knows where he needs to be playing. It's just sometimes he'll play those spots and then humble. And that's bad. So he's just letting the rest of his team work those angles whilst he plays that off angle in a really, really strong and quite frustrating spot to deal with. But we're heading over to our angle now, so probably a little less action involved, a little bit more calm, chilled out as we head in towards the first portion of the day. Fury at last game did come down to Igor once again.
Yeah. And honestly, mate, you know, normally I think you'd favour him in kind of positions like that, where if he had to step up as a solo, it's just how late in the game it was and how strong everyone else he was up against was looking, right? Uncomfortable position to be left in, but hey, they've still squeezed some extra points out of it. So it's better than it could have been. For some of our other talented squads, they're far down the standings, but like you touched on, Rondo is Rondo, and now we get something a little bit more normal. Opening playing path established here, whole way down the middle.
Down on that eastern side, Yaz. Opening here for teams to move into. Gatka a little bit harder to get towards on that western side. North George, as well as South George, probably possible. It's just going to be a little bit more of a long approach on that one. Vital is just out early. I don't really ever mind the Kameshki split, honestly, over towards Stalba on that eastern side. You have a lot of position to loot. Most of the time you're not having a second team come over here, so it's just a really good position to get set up in the early game. But man, Tiamba, we didn't talk about them too much at the end of that game, but there is definitely fire in those bellies today. Because to make that push, to make that decision, to just be like, let's have a straight fight on the central compound when we're playing Edge, I don't know what's gotten into them, but I love it.
It is so good. So many elims already, and they just go, I like the look of that position. Let's take it off them. I'll be having that. Fairly watery circle, mate. Starting off one of these. This has been a consistent trend, at least throughout Survival. We had quite a few very similar to this on our start. Obviously, a little bit worse for Vitality with a late rotate all the way down from Stalba with their instant drop from the plane.
Yeah. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. A lot of the rotational tools will probably be removed as well. So it is going to be a long rotate for Vitality, you are correct. That might end up, or probably will end up, creating a little bit more of a passive game for them, a slower game for them. 4 Thrives though, loving life. You know, they get down towards Ferry Pier, the yellow's on the eastern side, there's no one around here, it's chilled out, it's peaceful. You get yourself set up nice and early on one of the prior compounds as we head into Zone 2. I think the scary thing about this one is it does eke in a little bit of Sosnovka, and there isn't a 0% possibility that this doesn't go down towards Sosnovka in the future. It still can. It could even center up around Bridge. Satan on our screens. You know what, the last game, first time I've seen Satan smile this tournament, by the way. Even when they win, he usually looks like something's gone wrong.
He enjoyed that one.
He did like that one. That was a nice win for him.
Yeah, they were chuffed to bits. And to be fair, it was great. You know, nice head-to-head. 2 very talented squads. Lots of contrast of play styles, but Enigma Galaxy proving that it was on the money today in that first game. So low on utility, but made every bit count. Can they keep it going, though? You start well on Rondo. How does it look then moving in here to Arangao? Another chicken dinner, big placements. What are we looking at from them? That will be a nice, I suppose, sort of litmus test of what the quality of this team's going to be looking like throughout the next 2 days here.
Ida. These guys kind of crumbled. They made the similar approach to Tiamba actually last game, but I think what Tiamba did very differently was they isolated the Vitality compound away from Aurora, whereas Ida kind of came from that north side and just sandwiched themselves. I thought that was a very strange play for Ida to make. I think most of the time, most teams would understand that probably don't want to place yourself between those 2 squads or those 2 buildings. They're very popular in that location on Rondo. But I don't think Ida had done badly before. They had some really cool clutch moments, some super awesome 1v3s right at the end of the games. Like, they have what it takes to be a champion. but not like that. Or stop making silly mistakes.
And obviously we touched on Vitality going down kind of early into that one. Two other squads that I'm assuming towards the end of the day will be in a very different place to where they are in the standings right now, would be both Four Tribes and Godlike. Two teams that have got so much firepower, even just individuals as well.
Yeah.
Fanak gets some of that old four back out immediately, mate. You won't only see it, you'll hear it from the crowd.
I mean, he looked happy when I saw him this morning. Ready to go. He's got a little bit of a shy smile on him as well. Quite like
it's cheeky.
He is cheeky. It is cheeky. But even when I was talking to him yesterday, he seemed like he was ready and raring to go. The rest of the team all looked happy. IQ is in high spirits, which is very, very good news for the team. Be able to give that advice and those crucial bits of information, where the team wants to go, how they want to play it out. You need all of your team to be happy. Though I am kind of worried about Godlike and Orangutan.
Okay.
Not because of gameplay we've seen so far, just because this is a finals at EWC. I think for them, it would be unwise not to say they're under pressure. I think if you're a fan of both these squads, and maybe today looks a little bit rough for them, I would caveat with that there is a tremendous amount weighing down on them right now, being in such a prestigious finals versus some really damn good squads. I'm hoping they could probably get back into the run of it, like by match 3 potentially. But if it takes till tomorrow, I think that's fine as well. OG already still showing off that they have the rotations capability to make it happen. They got far into that late game. Not a lot of eliminations, that's fine. Godlike similarly, still that aggression in play. I like to see it, but maybe not where we really wanted it to happen during that game.
I think it's also for teams like that, Blank. For our other squads that were forced to play survival stage, you've had to consistently keep grinding and keep that form on the go.
Yeah, exactly.
You come out from your group in those top team spots, you get a few days off, but that does cool you down a little bit. And the thing that's changed is what's going on behind us. The energy in the arena, the noise, the hype. They're getting excited because Four Tribes have made the play. That's IQ with an opening takedown. But that's the difference as well. You come back into this area, Blank. Sure, with the noise-cancelling headphones, they might not be hearing it, but I tell you what, they can feel it. The vibration. I know the floor is trembling under my feet, so it'll be the same down there on the stage for our players. And if you're trying to instantly snap back into that tournament-winning mindset after a few days off with all this going on, it might take a game to try and lock back in.
Yeah. I don't like that, though, from Aurora. Because you can scout that a lot easier just by sending over towards the beachhead, having a look over towards Lighthouse and being like, okay, there's a guy up there waiting, try and check the girders. I always think it's an odd maneuver to try and just send someone, slingshot them across, and it's like, well, we know there's someone across there though, but you also just lost a player. Like, it's so early into the game, could have even just waited for zone 2. I'm curious to hear what the analyst desk has to say about that, because for me, that's just not EWC, PMWC potential. Right? That's not what that is.
Yeah, the trade of it, one player's life, one of your squad mates for an information play, economically, it's not the best trade on it. Especially if we see him get a good run out of this game. Goes down to an awkward fight. One player of difference, Blank.
Hell, I mean, even this circle right now, where it's down towards the eastern side, Four Tribes knows that. This is prime time to go for bridge camps.
Yeah.
Like, if this circle was further over towards the northwest, maybe you don't go for that type of thing. But I think this one, if you're Aurora, it shouldn't be a case of, oh, let's check if there's someone there. You should just know.
Devil's in the details. And it paints a very pretty picture here for some teams. For Aurora, it results in 3 players alive in game 2 to kick us off. Flash also having 1 player knocked here. Zone crunching in.
Yeah.
Rich still in play. There you go, buddy.
Thought that this might be the case. On a circle like that, it's very, very awkward on these types of circles, and it can center up around bridge across both sides, which is super unfun to play. Because now this really could go back over towards Sosnovka way. I'm sort of expecting it to head towards the northwest. But for Aurora, they're stuck now. As are Alula. Alula's kind of considering whether we should take an eastern crossing or should we just play over towards the ridge side on the southern edge. It cuts out a massive amount of space though. So much water involved. So teams are just going to be sending towards Very Pier because there's safety in that location.
Vitality did thunderfoot their way down from Stolber quite quickly, so you can see there amongst the rest of the pack, everyone else attempting to forge a path into the zone, knowing that play space will be very limited with a decent chunk of it cut out by the water and that bridge dividing either team from each other. The only two squads on the island right now are Alula and Aurora. We've got E-Arena on screen now. This is the POV of Joker. Tiamba, though, taking the scrap towards OG. With God being hit very heavy. Trying to stay behind the trees, bro. Luckily still alive.
Yeah, great zigzag. Able to stay out of dodge there for a second. He was very close to going down. AKOP actually challenging this. But man, A-King has been making a name for the DBS, right? You know, there's a lot of nerfs that came through. S12K became the more popularized weapon. Despite that, though, A-King has been consistently winning these trades with it.
He's bringing it back in fashion. Seems like the horror fans enjoying this one so far, getting quite loud there. You see the banner flying. Haru. Oh, going back in. Let's see what he can do in a DBS. Wants to prove he's the DB best up close and personal. On to Schwetz with the opener. Not ideal for his teammates, though, as Joker strikes with a shotgun and Turney K outside twists the knife. Another one falls. An orangutan, it all goes down to just Aru. Trapped behind the bike sheds and laid out by E-Arena.
E-Arena able to remove them. Stepped up to the plate, but not worthy to sit around here with E-Arena, unfortunately. Some good shots at the start there, but started to crumble slightly. Turney K came in like a demon, though, from the sidelines. I think WizGod was not expecting him to be so up close and personal. Aura played back here. They're over towards the pier itself. Fourth Thrives mirroring them over towards the eastern side. We are close towards our next circle now. Nigma Galaxy making me laugh at the moment, man. They're like, this circle looks horrendous. We're going to play in our drop spot for the rest of the game. We're going to get very looted before we think about moving. And we're still on Sosnovka with this one. Fourth Thrives looking good. Down towards the southern edge here. Vitality trying to confirm over towards that compound that sits towards the field. I don't think that's a bad idea here. Gives you a lot of control of the Longwoods that sits around this area. Not sure what S2G is doing. I think we've got boats. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it seems like at least one boat in play there. Dream scenario, maybe it's a hovercraft wrap back over to the mainland, grab their teammates, then get involved with the action later. Meanwhile, though, Godlike taking on Tiamba. Milu on his last leg, suffering a casualty there for the Tiamba squad. It's a decent start, but Godlike have received one knock onto their roster. This is the establisher. You can see the fight here from the top down. QZZ with a nade into the ditch. Manya very low, but backpedals into safety with cover to play with.
Right, first nade goes long here. X-Power holding down the fortress, keeping that drawbridge pulled up. Takes a fair bit of damage here, but he's refusing to move. Manya will reinforce the front gates. Actually, he goes for a swing by, try and get some information on that. So Eagle's going to move around, understanding the position has been compromised.
Slowly trying to take some space back. Faint smoke wall goes up. Ooh, only gets worse for Aurora as well. And that's quick from Alula finding them. This was the other team that was on the island. There's now a third party that's joined them with that late rotation round from S2G. Looks like they did go back to grab the rest of the squad. Yeah, it was Kamikaze in the hovercraft. That's paid off for them to fight towards them. Ulf, interestingly, taking the hit over as well to Godlike. So that battle turns into a third party fight.
For Godlike there, quick swing around. Take shots over towards Ulf. For them, Ulf should be able to pick the players back up. They've got a good spot right now. It's not as safe as they might like it to be, but it is decently central. It feels like the circle's peeling away from Sosnovka at this point. They have very limited space to work with. Alula trying to make the cross. S2G, Hamzi at distance will find a shot over towards Aurora there, leaving them at 0. out of the game early. 23 points is where they'll end. Not a single point earned on this one.
So a great start on Rondo, but a bitter taste left in their mouths off the back of the Erangel performance.
These guys have been playing the same game. I think this is the first time they've been inside the circle since the beginning. How does their entry work, actually? Man, how are we still on the bridge?
Yeah, this is kind of unreal. At some point, I thought we'd move.
Yeah, we're still here. I mean, Sosnovka's still in as well. I cannot believe this.
Luna also took another casualty from STG on the backside, so they've called it quits and actually rushed over the bridge now into the mainland. Yeah, that's only a trio blank. Damage onto Yasser as well.
Oh, Enigma Galaxy might try and trade up. They're just in. They're just in. They're absolutely playing a different game at the moment. I mean, I'm glad finally there's some shots that go towards them now. It's just such a wild play from Enigma Galaxy. Coop's taking a hell of a lot of damage. Slowly careen it back in towards his team. Try and lock it down. They have lost one off the back of that. Vehicles are smoking, flaming. Flashes Dashmouth gone. I mean, that's 3 eliminations potential there for them, but they're worried about these sightlines to the side. Furia. Ooh. Go on. Give it some welly.
Tiamba doing Tiamba things once again. Tony K low on HP on the top floor, upside in the attic. Looking for an angle here, but Falak with the distant shot claps back onto Eagle. A-King gets a little bit high octane as he charges through the ground floor. Nade on the stairs. Mormon's cooking one of his own to bounce down. Godlike getting involved with the fight. That's Manya just outside the window. Big Papa Pump in his hands. So many teams crunching in.
Yeah, good Molotov here, but really good timing from Godlike as they move into this one, just leaving A-King alive here for Tiamba. Irina on the upstairs with the 4v2v1. Really good stuff. I mean, this is a good entry point coming through for Godlike, and they understand if they can get rid of 2 teams, they're going to be opening up a lot of space down here. Edmino still at high HP count, but Manya finally does fall here to a nade from Mormon. Tiamba goes down.
Smoke on the stairs. Mormon's going to clear it. Oh, straight in with the clothesline. Whoa! The turnaround. Mormon saying, "Feed me more," as Godlike charge into him. Quick decision, but not fast enough on the mantle. And Sume will save it. But at what cost? The only player left alive for the squad.
I mean, Godlike need more men now. They're only down to 1. What a play from Mormon. The speed, the velocity. Straight in there, no qualms. Now Vitality, they're up into it. This place has been the graveyard of 5 separate teams so far. Vitality finally just come over towards the dregs. The funeral's almost over. Can Salme stay alive as the sole participant?
The Vitality a victim from the top floor. Or will they just be signing their death warrants on entry? Axel being shot in the back. A new challenger arrives. It's Hora in the distance as Jiggle is able to punish and soften them, leaving them with 3 players left. Sume still just guarding the stairs with a nade pin pulled. He's going to go down. Razak on a dive around the corner. He wants to punish him with a shotty and will find it.
Really, really good job from Razak. I think you have to make that play in that moment as well. You hear the pin pull coming down, trying to get the res off. You're trying to go for the revive, get some respite in that location. So Razak goes for the risky play to keep them up as 4, understanding they'll need that amount of players to push through the next couple of compounds. They got Aura in front of them and 4 thrives after that. Alula down towards the south side circle, finally moved away. Still a lot of water on this one. Beachhead does well. Ida, as well as Ulf, now going at it. Play from Ulf downstairs is not. They have 4 players up though right now. This is very easy to recover from. But it should be.
Whoa, you run straight into that one. Catching the Ida try and clap back. Is good damage, but such an awkward setup between both of them. Casualties on either side. Scarface looking to go for the pickup play. Meanwhile, outside, Emre charging round with the SMG and denied out by Nongshim Red Force. Tizzy takes that one.
Nongshim could push this pretty quickly. Ulf is not looking too good right now. Neither is Vitality. Flipping into action. They lose a vehicle. Razy and Razak try and get the buggy through the window, but end up dismantling through normally. That was a speedy rotate. I like that. You know, cut your losses. Moving through Aura as well as Fourth Rise is going to be hard, and eventually you get third party by one of them. You hear the engagement happening on the north. You send it. Now Ulf is in a very tricky spot. Cut between two strong teams in Nongshim as well as Vitality.
Quick decisions and shades of the Vitality that we were so impressed by prior. Once again, back on our screens, it's only the one elim they've been able to garner so far. But they are licking their lips at the prospect of so much more.
Getting a little bit more here, you can get yourself the Naruto skin in-game, as well as the Ninetales Fury Org. Both looking very cool here. Ulf's going to hopefully have to drop a substitution jutsu here to try and get out of this one, because it is going to be hard. Vitality, Razy, Razak move up. Quick shots over towards Souls. He tries to move around the corner. Nongshim still in play. They're the ones getting the most of the damage, though. Federales at least will confirm one. Quick switch around the side. Denying some of the sight lines. As Ulf does go down. Vitality, though, they've been hugging the wall so far. Not allowing a single moment for Nongshim Red Force to try and challenge that spot. Razak, though, what are you doing? Testing the waters, a little bit hot.
Yeah, I did not like the feeling of that one. Although maybe he wants to go for it from a slightly different approach. Runs back out. Meanwhile, attention turns onto Federales, and that is another knock going the way of Nongshim. Oh, Razak.
Oh, yeah, good shots.
He's got so easy, very low. Nade right on top of him as well, following up from that. Oh, mate. Hyunbin with the instantaneous conversion. Now it's a raw 3-on-3. Luckily, they will save Federales, but he's got to top himself back up.
I mean, Razak understood the idea. Now tries to get up towards the wall, create a different angle to deal with. Nongshim was quick to it. Hyunbin pushing up right now. It's a little bit close for comfort here. But I think they know they want to get rid of this guy sooner rather than later, but he has pulled these kind of antics before, getting a little too aggressive without the help of the rest of the team. So easy goes down the back lines as Flash starts to move on through.
Tizzy tries his might. Rapid shots coming out, but not enough to finish Vitality. The end of Nongshim Red Force, but it does leave Vitality slightly weakened. And Flash, they are next in line to try and keep them pinned here, knowing eventually they'll have to move. Slightly paranoid about the other teams that could be behind them.
Blue is ushering Vitality forward, swinging in on the same angle as Flash. How will they make this work? S2G, you were right. You were actually right. They had two hovercrafts in play. Being able to keep both of these alive all the way through to this end game is giving them a lot of pressure. Loss isn't quite able to get it up, though. And the hovercraft is stuck on the side. Yeah, just about. We'll take it. I mean, that... They're just letting it happen. Come on, bit more gas.
Got to give it some welly. His teammates taking a fair bit of damage, but with that added armor of these big hovercrafts in play. If you say like this, man, if you can get them into the zone, there could be a lot you could do with it late game. I'm surprised the Lula have been able to guard this for so long, make it look uncomfortable. Nade after nade as well, just trying to soften them up.
Vitality do move over to the side. They're looking down over towards Fourth Rise. The shots are pouring in. S2G, they brought repair kits as well with them. But the blowtorch in play, I mean, that's bold. On fire. Get out. Falak down. Aura, no fear. Drops them all up top side. Looks fairly decent on that one. Airburst are slightly too far. This is some comedy. not going to lie to you.
Okay, they should be able to clean up from here at least. As long as there's not any more mistakes. It's damage done onto Soul-K, but they do hold on. Shut down Alula.
What was that?
Bit of a weird one.
It was a weird one. I'm glad you picked it up strong, though, because, I mean, it is an important fight. It's just interesting. Vitality go down in the meantime as Flash continues to push the advantage. But it is majority of Fourth Rise doing that damage. Enigma Galaxy, after their strange approach from the early game, now going out slowly but surely, just Ralph as well as Lord. Flash has been all over the place so far. Next circle will pull in, stage 7. Fourth Rise have been weathering it, though. They have held a ton of space. It has been a little bit greedy, but they've been doing a good job of playing off one another. Yes, they've taken some knocks here and there, but they've maintained a 4-man. They're in this area early, and they understand better than anyone else. This is a game that they should be doing well on. I don't think I'd put as much pressure on and say this is a game they should win from the spot they had at the start, but it should be at least a top 5, which I think, you know, we've already achieved. So this is a good game from Fourth Rise and shows that they still have it in them.
And with them being able to have enough timing here to get IQ back up once again, the 2-2 split from them could still pay dividends massively. It's been a very elongated firefight between them and Horror, effectively just mirroring each other's movement up along the ridge into the zone. A little bit more split here. No Fear in the back, trying to protect some Overwatch. Right above you in the building as well. Meanwhile, that's an engagement over onto Enigma Galaxy. S2G, after moving in and cleaning out Alula, they head center zone, and they find the final blow there. Goodbye, Enigma Galaxy. S2G stealing points here, there, and everywhere.
Do we have to call this play the kamikaze from now on, where S2G just launch him out like a rocket to center circle and leave him there on his own?
He loves it.
This is the kamikaze. This is crazy stuff. The rest of S2G trying to regroup with him, but it's not likely. Kamikaze in play right now. The other hovercraft does go down, not really any other vehicles. Might need to regroup, pick it back up again, but Kamikaze, he's going to hold that spot. He planted the flag, the S2G flag. T24 goes down, jiggle around the side.
Ooh, Sleepy. Top side of the stairs, but you can't weather the storm as Fourth Rise arrives, and the brain of the operation kicks in the brawn. The shotgun does damage. Falak there in the back line to assist, but No Fear charging up. He's going to play on the edge, wants to run in now with the timing, see if he can shut them down. Falak charges back, can't do it. No Fear holds on. Quick switch to the primary. Gets himself onto an off angle. With one more play, if he can shut down IQ, he can take out Fourth Rise, and that's how he does it. No Fear from Horror stands on.
Absolutely not frightened in the slightest as he moves downstairs, pushes up into the dark, and Fourth Rise will fall. Win up against the world right now. DPS at distance, he's fighting all of them, but S2G falling in the meanwhile. No Fear, there's a possibility of winning this if he wants to push out right now.
Get involved in the action. Everyone's weakened. Doesn't have all the info we do right now. He's going to top himself back up, play the slow game. That's Flash. Losing their last man there with Kamikaze continuing to punish. Oh, a horrible spot. Tries to get the heal in. Kamikaze's got a single nade in the back pocket if he chooses to dash it. They've got clear vision now. Peppering the bullets. This is it. Pulls the pin, looking to cook. Let's see if he can land it.
Kamikaze looking for it now. A bit of splash damage. We're not that just there yet. Kamikaze keeps spraying the right location with the bullets. Peppering the ground, picking up mud. Soul-K in the back lines. What's left out here? Quite an unfamiliar target. Soul-K will take down tops, but Kamikaze is out, and we're down to a 1 versus 1 versus 1. The outside contender in No Fear. Soul-K looking at both angles.
The battle of the solos to decide our second game, Chicken Dinner. No Fear already picking up that big clutch. He's amped up as an individual. Got a rough read on where he believes Soul-K can be stationed, tucked in behind this burnt-out hovercraft.
I don't think he knows. I think he knows there's a team in that general direction, but he does not know where No Fear is. Hamzy G finally goes down. I think No Fear has a rough idea that he's playing on this hovercraft, though. He has the information. Watching both of them. This would be an unbelievable double clutch up versus 4 Thrives into the last 2 teams. Zeus is just pushing forward. Instant spot though, over towards No Fear. And now Zeus with all to do here. Flash, who had swept everyone aside. Soke, the last to fall potentially here versus Team Flash.
Zeus, the lightning reactions for Flash have guaranteed them a 2nd place, but can he take it to 1st, or will Soke get it done for S2G? A smoke wall, giving him limited play space. That tree, the only protection for the peak for Flash. He's going to make his move, starts charging in, wants to close the distance. Here's the peak up, bullets on target. Sweer so low, buckles under the pressure. That's the damage coming through as they lock it in.
S2G, Kamikaze with the Kamikaze play towards the center. It's an explosive finish right at the end. But Soke steps up, a lad that's been in the esport for the longest of time. He's still got it in him.
Feeding the crowd energy. A celebration in unison for the nation as they pop off on that one. S2G locking it down and everyone's living it up.
And it's all in the name because it is all gonna be okay at the end of the game for S2G. They had a lot of confidence coming into this one. They look good on the stage. They look good in the game. Is this the S2G comeback that we were looking for?
Aggression, confidence, some brilliant gun skill. Showing us a lot of the moves we needed to see on that one. A smart rotation from start to finish as well, playing by their own rules, Blank.
I think the thing for me is just, man, 2 matches so far, they have been both electric. I mean, this shot from Zeus.
Oh, the quick reactions, dude. That sent me.
His eyes must be going 2 different directions, man. He'd be seeing everything.
He was so locked in for an S2G fight. I don't even know how he clocked him, but instantly.
He said it, lightning flash reactions. That's what it is. I mean, it's so good from this team so far. I mean, they were involved in everything.
Yeah.
I think Horror, honestly, for them, yeah, it's a tough fight versus 4 Thrives, but you got to be happy with the way that No Fear clutched up there. That is an incredible finish of those guys. Yes, Horror had a good spot on the sideline, but it's so many teams constantly pouring in, cycling out time and time again. I don't think that was an easy game whatsoever.
And you can feel it looks a little bit different with this lobby compared to what we had in isolation in groups, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's so much more quick to the punch, a lot more early contact. And it feels like sometimes we were seeing maybe a bit too much respect for the big dogs. Now everyone's playing on the same level. It feels like we're all on an equal footing here. And they're giving it their best. It really has changed the dynamic. But let's get down and hear from Kalaris himself on the stage about what they have to say.
Thank you very much, Jackie. Yes, you can cut the tension with a knife here at the moment for our first 2 games. And I'm here with our winners from Game 1, of course, Ralph from Nigma Galaxy, to talk to about them. Some of the games that have happened so far. So let's talk about that first game, in that late game against Aurora there. What was your anticipation as a team? Did you think Aurora had maybe moved a little bit earlier? Or talk to me about the late game and what you guys were experiencing.
I mean, we didn't really know. We didn't have much info. But we just played it slow. We took our fights that we need to take, and we just secured the win at the end.
I mean, it looks good at the end, right? Of course, getting that many points off of a Rondo. Not a bad start at all for a grand final like this. That second game, a bit harder, I think.
Yeah, second game was a bit harder. I mean, we have a team hot dropping us, but they're scared to fight. I don't know, they're camping. So we'll see in next games what they do.
I was going to say, were you surprised by that? Because it was in the back. We were a little surprised that they were going to come your way. As we've talked about multiple times, it's your territory. So what are they doing?
They know we won't change, so they're just wasting their time. And they're coming to fight, but they don't want to fight. So I'm really confused right now.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining me here, Ralph. You heard it out there. Ida, he's got his eyes on you.
My name's Blank, and I've had 4 coffees, and I'm testing my reaction time right now.
I'm Hot Jukes. I just had a massage, and this is my reaction time.
Let's get it. I'm in the room. Yeah, some of my reaction score is pretty damn good. I actually don't think it has something to do with anything else or anything like that. But what about you, Jukes?
I don't care. Cut.
S2G in hovercrafts. That is like white on rice right now, because my goodness, what a performance out of that squad. Before we break down that second match here in finals, don't forget that we do have the fan experience that you can check out here at EWC. Make sure you go check it out. You can check out the new mode, Brain Rot Royale. Check out the collaboration right now the PUBG Mobile is doing with Naruto, and so much more. And you can win some really cool shirts, which actually we've been wearing them. Not right now. I think Jukes does have one on, but you'll be able to check out so much stuff. Yeah, check out that still Brain Rot. I mean, Brain Rot Royale. I've been playing it. I think I got to level 7. I've seen people being able to get to level 11. I gotta grind some more.
Wow,
but
7 got 7.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes. Gotta keep it on brand, baby. Now that's it. I'm not gonna be playing it anymore. But S2G, Jukes.
Bro.
My goodness.
Oh, dude, that double hovercraft play right there at the end was absolutely insane. They were able to take out Aula in a very nice way. And then just, I like to see that they kept one player there, right by the water, behind the hovercraft, just in case. And he was able to clutch it up at the end and get that chicken dinner. Finally, an S2G win, and nice and early.
Yeah, really, really nice. And the momentum they were able to pick up on after, getting those hovercrafts. Very quick side note here while we're on this fight. 4 Thrives are looking, I hate to say it, very shaky. I don't know what happened, because group stage, they were looking really, really solid, just not able to get that win. Here, the splits are kind of off. They're pushing one by one. They're not really communicating, it feels like. So the last 2 games, I've not been super impressed with them, but hopefully that changes in the next game.
And for 4 Thrives, I felt like it took him way too long, Neptura, to engage the fight there with Hora, just coexisting for too long. And No Fear came in clutch with that 1 versus 2.
He really did, and he continued to come in clutch for a lot of the game. Actually, he was a big part of the team this game.
Yeah, I just think he just made a big play. I mean, what can you do against that? When No Fear comes up and clutches it up, I mean, Aura fans are screaming these guys' names at the top of their lungs, and to be able to clutch it up like that is just huge. So yeah, unfortunate for 4 Thrives, huge for No Fear.
Another team that has been performing quite well today when we talk about eliminations has been none other than Nongshim Lace. This was the biggest feedback that we gave this squad during groups and also survival, and they're finally starting to put up those eliminations. As you can see, Nongshim Red Force right now with 9.
Yeah, absolutely 7. I mean, they're finding important fights on their rotation to solidify that position, especially on that northern side. They were able to sort of catch Furia off guard. And now I do want to kind of segue into Furia and to why I need to highlight this. But one of our most aggressive playstyle teams is prioritizing the rotate on Rondo. We actually saw them grab utility, move into zone, and Max actually made a good point about this when NGX was sort of on the, I think it was the eastern side next to E Arena. Furia should have just pushed them into it, caused that fight. They would have had control over that whole entire side because they just sort of stopped the revive from Ulf. Then again, on this map, they found themselves in the position, and Nongshim from the northern side just obliterated their defense. This is just unusual for Furia. They are the power play team. They're the ones that get in a goddamn vehicle and shooting out the window and making that position them. It's just unusual.
They're right. They are supposed to be that aggressive team, and they're currently not showcasing that. In the opposite, like you just mentioned, and I was mentioning too, Nongshim is putting up those eliminations. But something happened at the end of that last game. With the hovercrafts and S2G, that was a little bit sketchy, Net.
It was a little bit. It was a bit touch and go here, but the momentum they've been able to build with these hovercrafts, they had 2 or 3, and they just went, let's go for it. And it's this replay that I want to talk about here, because look how they're going to play this. It's like my driving. First of all, Secondly, look how they take that first hovercraft and they deny the sightlines of Aula, right? They separate them one by one. They can no longer play as a duo. They try and get as many of those sightlines abolished as possible with those hovercrafts. And to be honest, S2G with those hovercrafts have been actually insane. It feels like because they take more damage to explode, and they have it's just a tank, and so they are able to just run with it. They were making crazy rotations from the very beginning of the game. They had those positions on the rocks in the middle of the water, which are normally inaccessible, but having 2 hovercrafts, I wonder if other teams are going to start picking up on that, because that was an insane game from S2G.
I mean, we've seen it happen in the past too, and you just sounded like Max there for a second. I have to double check to make sure it was Michael Natura Jackson or if it was Maxman, but we're looking at the overall ranking here. Enigma Galaxy is currently in first place with those 26 points. Aurora, top. What happened at the top of that bridge? That man ended up falling down, and he actually ended up hurting Aurora with the rotation that they were looking to do into the main island.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate there. I mean, that's what it's all about. You know, you're trying to be able to get into that end game and make those plays, and if you're Aurora, 24 points on the board, you can't shake your head at, and S2G being able to get that win, push themselves up to 3rd place. I like what we were talking about there about Nongshim a little bit earlier, right?
They just look at the elements.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. 18 eliminations, and they would have gotten even more if it wasn't for those clutch plays from Vitality right there, because we saw absolute Hyunbin in action making some serious plays. But hey, again, super clutch moments here.
We have to talk about some of these other teams that are currently on the second page. I know it is the first day of PMWC at EWC 26 finals. It's only 2 games, but there is some things that we're starting to notice here, especially with 4 Thrives, the passioners that you were kind of talking about earlier, Neptura, as well as OG. OG needs to start being a little bit more aggressive and making sure that they look a bit more cohesive when you are being aggressive, because they were pushing one by one. It seems like a chicken without its head.
Yeah, it really did. And also they're losing players very, very early on. I think we've had that in both games now, where they're losing at least 1 or 2 of their players. Godlike have had a better opportunity to keep their players alive. They've been split up a little bit more. They've been using a little bit more of the zone, but it's just when they actually get down to the fight towards the end game, that's where they start to falter, and that's why we're not seeing those strategies convert into points. So that's what we need to see there.
And India, if I have learned anything about OG, it is they need their 3rd game. So don't count them out yet. I've learned my lesson. Don't you stress. Orangutan in their 3rd match, what they tend to do is actually prioritize just kind of scoping what the rest of the teams are doing, making their game plan. Game 3, 4 is where they set their sights on fire.
Oh, I like that one. Now this is the group of death. Woo! This is the group of death, and this does feel like a finals right now with the way that some of these teams are playing. One man that I know is happy because he ended up picking that team that was in the top 3 here, none other than Team Flash. Maxman is looking to make sure he reverses curse. So let's send it over to Maxman in Calaris.
Well, we're not going to let him do any predictions here. That would be very, very serious indeed. But of course, we take a look at how things have gone down so far here in these 2 games. And we did have an interview just with Ralph, who's also a little bit confused about said hot drop.
I saw the hot drop that could happen on the map before this event. I'm like, they're not going to go for it because Enigma Galaxy has been dropping in Pachinki before I was even born. And yet, a team is trying to contest it away from them. And as he said, they're going for the hot drop, but they're not fighting and very confused. And they just see the loot truck pass by like, oh, my P90. No P90. So, Ida, I might want to change that because it's not helping you out.
I think it's going to be difficult for them to go up against that, but we will see if it continues. Ralph is also a little bit confused. Let's pivot kind of where we're at here as well. They've already alluded to it on the desk and how things have gone down so far for S2G, but just masterful control of the double hovercraft, some crazy plays, and the send out of Kamikaze to be able to make that work. For S2G, that was very, very impressive.
Yeah, it's just a domain expansion double hovercraft. I'm sure you get that reference right there, Kalaris. But no, great use of it, especially you saw there in the sure during a little bit of a replay analysis where they block out the line of sight of one of the players of Alula to really separate them and win the fight off the back of that. When you're near the water, when you have these open-ended finish, hovercraft are, I'm gonna have to say it, they're completely broken, and S2G made full use of it until the very end of that game.
A tough circle though, right? If you think about where Aurora was when it comes to the bridge as well, we're having kind of conversations in the back about this is a military island kind of heavy team, and yet the bridge seems like a conundrum to them that can't solve like a Rubik's Cube.
It was a bit weird, especially because Top was on top of the bridge itself. And I think the player 4th Thrive's got an angle on him, so he goes down, kind of drops to his death at that point, right? And then the team tries to go and back up and hopefully get him back up on his 2 feet. But then Alula were very sneaky, pushing right behind them on the bridge. I think Aurora, they're very experienced on that western bridge. We should be expecting more on the finish like this. So, you know what? First Durangle, it's fine. But the next Durangle, they need to show up.
All right, well, thank you very much, Maxman. It is time to head on over to the commentator team once again for game number 3 of the finals. Let's do it.
There we go, we'll pick up that throw. Thank you very much, James. There's a good arc on that one. Swift, great elbow on you. You can tell he used to be a drummer, but we'll be beating the drums of absolute anticipation and excitement here, Blank, as our 3rd game of the day is about to get underway.
Yeah, national gods as well as we get into this game, because it is going to be a lot to talk about going so far. I mean, even from watching the desk, to watching the stage hits, to watching the interviews, there's a lot to break down over the last match, and even just the 2 games we've had so far. There's been a lot going on. 4 tries on the first game, and having a little bit of a misstep, and then coming to the second one, looking a lot better. But so many good scenes. I'm very confident to say this is about as competitive as it gets in PUBG Mobile right now. I think we have the right teams here with us. We go into our 3rd match of the day as we get towards our halfway point. Shooting range to start off down towards Novo. Straight through the center, really easy one here, Jackie, very nice. I think most people can get exactly where they need to go. Aurora, last game, like you said before, looked a little bit weakened, right? I mean, even Max picked up on it. He was saying that, hey, as the team's very experienced around this area of the map, should not be going down so early like this. It should be a game that you are a bit more in control of. And it wasn't the case here. Tiamba, they go out early. Stand a little bit further down towards the south side of the map on the west.
Yeah, you'd hope they'd be able to bounce back from that one here. Obviously, it was a nice start on game 1, but that didn't really translate over. Has meant there was a little bit more fluctuation in the standings, obviously for Tiamba as well. Far quieter, it was 16 eliminations on their opening game of Rondo, only 2 added to that count. See Milu still living his movie though in terms of individual plays, as he was popping off on Rondo. It was a big piece of the team. I do wonder if we'll have something early here from Aura and Aurora. And where's that zone gonna go? We've had some wacky zones this LAN. It's been kind of crazy.
Yeah, most circles have just been very strange so far, very awkward to play. We had a couple towards the end of survival stage, which I think I was quite grateful for, that were more normalized on Erangel at least, where teams could actually play out their games. Enigma Galaxy versus Ida. No idea why this is happening, by the way. It's actually very strange. I'll explain once it's done. I mean, Kalaris already went over it in the interview, but the context is crazy on it. So Ralph with the M249. There's some good shots done. Actually, Enigma Galaxy doing quite well here, but already losing a player does feel bad, and it being Coops is even worse. Taking on the side. Lord hits some shots with Abacan. It's back and forth here. Swine last left to face. Ooh. And Ralph will get it done with the M249. He's screaming!
He's up, he's standing up.
Give them large for that. It is absolutely insane that they continue to come here. For context, Enigma Galaxy has dropped in this location for years upon years upon years, and they say it every time. In fact, they actually say it to the crowd and to all the players, we will never switch our hot drops. So it is never worth it to fight Enigma Galaxy inside of Pachinki. Sadly for them, 4th Rise feels like we can get some easy points off the back of this one. You guys just come off a fight. We know you've come off a fight. This is a great read from 4Thrives. I actually love this.
Oh, mate, didn't see him on the angle. 4Thrives spotting Lord. So as much as there was a pop-off of them defending their home turf on the hot drop, like you say, 4Thrives know you're slightly weak. They'll look to get in there, twist the knife, and completely knock them out of the game, denying any more points on this.
I mean, to be honest, you do wonder, 4Thrives boys, they see a big hubbub go over to by the Nigma Galaxy camp, and they're like, they've just won that fight.
We should get involved.
We should fly over. Oh, cheeky work, but you got to make the point somehow. Ralph the M249 looking for some good damage, but the shouts from the crowd start to ring out. 4Thrives might look to back away from this one, allowing Ralph as well as Satan to live another day. Circle did move up towards the northeast side. I don't know what Ida's doing, man. It's akin to throwing away all of your angles.
Yeah, it feels like one of those where it's kind of cutting your nose off to spite your face.
Yeah.
As much as, you know, it's your spot too. If it's not working, you got to adapt. Gigantic prize pool on the line. You fought this hard to be in finals. Don't ego challenge if you don't need to. But for 4Thrives, can they find those elims they wanted off the back of this counter play? T24 spotted on the drop. Let's see if he can go for the peak off this. And of course for you, you can get involved with that Naruto event at home.
4T up top. T24, he's got an inkling. Smells him out on this one. Senses his Reiatsu inside the building. Satan underneath. Ooh, slightly slow on the timing there, and T24 tries to use the DBS. He's swinging around in circles. Satan's not sure where to look on this. The rest of 4Thrives will come into hold. Finds the first. Takes more damage though. Ralph is nowhere nearby to help. Drops him down to 1. And it's an easy revive gear on T24 inside the building. Church held.
Then get the revive back on T24. And Ralph's just had to stay, man. It's where he's been for so long.
You'd be furious.
Yeah, you'd be fuming.
You win it twice. You win the hot drop twice back to back. It happens again, it costs you your game. And not even because of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's the thing, it just comes back to haunt you, right? Here we go. This is the full replay on it, so you get all the action. Oh, mate, it's carnage from the start. Obviously, we had Coops go down early, and like you said, they pop off to win it. We saw the celebration from Ralph literally sending a message live in the event, live in the flesh. Said it with his chest. They deserve the drop spot, but Ida don't want to give it up, and it's just really making it uncomfortable for both of those teams to get anything in these games.
It's the best Nigma Galaxy's looked in a long time as well. I think that's the saddest thing about it, and now it's happened in finals. And it's happened so frequently in the past as well, where Nigma Galaxy's just got to challenge another team for their drop spot. It's not guaranteed theirs for sure, but they've held it the entire tournament. Come on, guys.
No fear getting ran down by Aurora, as Top will find him on the move. 4Thrives did peace out, going slightly deeper into the zone to do a bit of loot, and obviously wasting a decent amount of time on that as well for the elim they were able to garner.
Vitality down towards the southwest, started in Kameshki style, but this time we're seeing him over towards Gatka, but they grab themselves the loot truck. Fiend as much as they can out from there. Circle up towards that north side, split between the lake, Yasnaya on the south side, on School, as well as Severny. Shooting range area. Tiamba tighten it in with E-Arena, Aurora, Godlike. Salme currently holding down the gas station, pops up tire. He can't come through here for repairs. He's got more bullets though.
Yeah, only 18 left. One in the clip, 17 in a hole. Let's see if he can turn some bodies cold on this pusher. Top going to drop down back behind the car. So Aurora taking a fair bit of damage. More reserve taps now. Got to find himself some ammo to play with. Switch it out to the Tommy just to keep the pressure on them. Suppressive fire.
Spraying it through, cutting the grass, but not quite finding the shots over towards the players. Next circle, 10 seconds roughly on this one. Aurora still figuring out where they want to play. Probably going to be a big old retreat here out. Migrate for a lot of squads. Hard shift potentially. No, actually. Very, very kind. Up towards that north side. Obviously, Lake is a bit of an awkward one to play around. You're going to see a lot of people playing on the rocky outcrops. The staging that goes up towards Stalba. Big old mountainside. There is also... Never mind, it's horrible. I lied to you. It's not great. You got the field down towards Yasnaya too, so there's not a huge amount of fun spots to play in. You have to decide a rotation in now and quickly. Do you wrap on the north? Do you wrap on the south? Because you can't really change that as time goes on because of Yas Lake.
Mormon from E Arena once again, being able to throw out some big uppercuts. That's back onto Aurora. So single knock there. We have the Tianba POV on rotation. Getting themselves into a fair place so far. Mormon keeping it going. Ooh, that's Vitality as well, with Razy hitting a very big blow back onto Godlike. A lot of fights breaking out across the battleground. Individuals being knocked. Ulf coming in with some show-stopping rotates. Oh, right into the nade. WizGod had that one ready for him.
Got it primed. I mean, for Ulf, Aaron comes in swinging. But yeah, got shot down very, very quickly there. Scarface looks to send a nade, but I don't even know if I think it's worth it anymore to go for this. Ulf's deep on the south side of the map. Need to swing back further up in Yazway. Alula instantly takes up the cliffside. Aurora decides they're going to go loot Severny. I mean, to be fair, they had taken quite a fair hit earlier on. Spent a little bit of ammo. Potentially some of the vests are starting to wear down, some of the helmets. Get some resets on that before you get moving.
Tiamba tackling against the Vitality Killer Bees once more. And it's Milu that's already showing that consistent form. Putting himself up to 10 elims on the day, I believe, then after that. Nice start for the first 3 games.
Milu keeping it a little bit quiet, though. Now playing a little bit of a split on this one. They've got Eagle a little bit further forward, perched up. Over towards Aura. Very much slowing down now at the halfway portion, Jackie. Trying to maintain some of that lead because some teams have struck out in a big way. I mean, Enigma Galaxy absolutely 30 points right now. Aurora at 26. They were able to earn 3 after that last game. In the first, I think they got 23 on that one. So last game was a bit of a dud. Hope they can find more of this one. Centers up over towards Tiamba as well as Aura. So those 2 compounds there are going to be a really big deal. Aura actually has the high ground on this one, the plateau that surrounds them. Very nice to be able to take shots out towards teams as they push on in. Sadly, Alula's much more high ground spot gets pulled off. So you're going to have to move over towards that western side. Yasser pulled away. I like this move from 4 Thrives though, Jackie. This is good.
4 Thrives still looking pretty nice in some of the encounters we've seen individually. Another roster we know that can be very explosive. Let's see if they can bring the boom on this one straight up towards the setup from Alula. Quick on top. Got a pump action in the back pocket ready for it if they can close the gap. Bit of overwatch from R3B on the top side with Claws relatively close to assist. Fast reactions onto the position of Falag, but the shot's not connecting.
Falag taking a little bit of damage here, down to half. Claws is a nade though. It's not the craziest of sends on this one. good bounce on it, actually. That would have been on target if he hadn't moved. I mean, Falak just takes the time. Here's the arc on that one. So he doesn't want to have any part of it. Tough circle, though, man. Very, very tough circle. The majority of the center is taken up by that water. I actually do really like S2G's position. They're playing over towards those compounds that sit just a little bit east over towards the lake itself. Oh, sorry, the cliff face. You got flashed down towards those compounds, but S2G currently playing on that rocky outcrop on the northern side, just holding out teams on the south here. Tiamba's actually even going to crunch in towards that little bank.
Fine margins between this going wrong for either of these two teams in 4-5s and Alula. So not wanting to risk it too much. Meanwhile, OG crossing past the crosshairs of Nongshim Red Force with Zizzy taking the peak over the top. Got the heavy weaponry ready to rock them if they stay close by. And luckily they have at least been able to create some space between the two. Double back over to the bridge where Rolf is stationed.
Yeah, they know OG's in the area as well. See, Aaron struggled versus them earlier on his flying maneuver into the gas station. Tried to go for the movie entrance, but we went straight to credits instead. Yeah, Ulf hoping to hold them on the bridge side. Next circle, though, I'm feeling the pizza slice here over towards the west. I mean, Aurora currently have a really strong position on it, and we do head over there, in fact. But it's like a case of Aurora holding the central spot. They have a lot of 360 vision, but it's very open, Jackie. This is a very, very open area, a little bit unfun. There's quite a few radio towers and the square concretes that sit underneath them that end up being like where you play. You literally just lie down next to them, try and set up vehicles. You can see Vitality already sending over. But this is quite a nice spot for Aurora. It's a tiny bit of hard cover, a little bit of a crescent lit behind them as well.
Well, that's the last man for Enigma Galaxy, and Ralph trying to stay alive for as long as he can, but finally falls to S2G. S2G possibly being collapsed upon as well by 4-5s. They fall next.
Yeah, good fight. Very good fight from 4-5s. S2G tried to jump the gun there, Jackie, and ran straight into titanium wall. A lot of hopes riding on these three players from Aurora, though. Another good game here. Sits them a little bit further ahead. Make up for that previous match there on Arundel. Not the greatest of pushes across the bridge to begin.
To be fair, with Nigma and S2G going down early, not really acclimating too many points on this one. It could be the dream recovery for Aurora if they can keep it up. Unfortunately for Godlike, Adamino unable to withstand the hit that is thrown towards him. Furia will get their mates back up and live on to fight on this one. 4 of our squads out of the running into the 3rd game so far.
Nongshim on that south side, actually trying to push on him. There's quite a few teams there. Nongshim's just going to barge over towards OG. Atanki's already down. Another nade towards the backside here. Good damage from Hyunbin, as always. Looking very, very strong. Hits the deck. Good dodge on that. Second nade's a bit stronger, though. Aru now needs to get back into action. The rest of Nongshim Red Force lagging behind as Flash still continues to create a little bit of a nuisance for them in tops.
Back and forth blows, but Orangutan still being able to withstand. Uncomfortable for Nongshim, actually, man. Yeah, that's a nice flick back up towards the Wizard Tower, and it keeps him pinned in position so he can't provide too much Overwatch.
He's in a bad spot now. I mean, no position to help the rest of his team. It's a cool side swipe coming through from tops as well. Caused so many problems on the back line there for Nongshim Red Force. Just weren't quite quick enough. He's going to have an even deeper look into this one. He wants to get up close and personal, investigate. Potentially some more eliminations here left at the crime scene.
He's still trying to get an angle on this. minute you got to move, he'll be ready for the catch. And Furia over on the other side of the coast have been taking shots over as well, so it's all been a little bit uncomfortable for the 4 squads that have been collapsing in onto that one position. This gas station for OG somehow being a very formidable defensive area.
Oh. Calling it from zone 3 there. I got a little bit lucky, but yeah, Aurora in a really, really good spot now. This is definitely redeemable city here for Aurora. We just need to not see them go for something silly again. That is all.
Yeah, just keep their cards close to their chest and be able to close this one out with some good plays. To be honest, mate, that is kind of the dream with what we saw off the back of this game with the other squads above them falling out early. It has presented that opportunity, and like you say, if they can grab it, you've recovered from that. We can all forget about game 2. Everything looks good for them, and they'd actually be on that podium spot in first place come the end of this game. But that's still in the future. Still a lot of other teams that could potentially look to upset them. So we'll stick with the narrative as it develops. This is their position right now. 4 Thrives going in against the arena. Doc looking to decimate some damage out, and he does hit nice. Good shot onto Falak. A little bit more they can do here.
I like that though. Good smoke. Over towards the rock side to kind of isolate this engagement between them and 4 Thrives in the arena on the northern edge. Makes a ton of sense to me as well. That vitality location is going to be a real problem for you. That's a long nade. Ooh. Actually hits on target. Great damage, and they just keep on pumping in. 4 Thrives are out. But yeah, I mean, that's some massively long nades on that one.
Just chaining them together as well, one after another, after another. They want to go in to grab the bits, drop the smoke, try and stay alive. Issue is you're now in a position where other teams can take shots onto you for free.
Yeah. Good. I mean, Doc is holding on. He is holding on. I think he's got that mentality where it's like, well, I'm sorry guys, I ran out that time. I will play anchor for the rest of the day, and I will keep you lads safe. It's a good shot over towards Silence. The rest of Fury need to re-angle over towards it, but it takes a gun away from that western side. But Aurora had to do that. They had to push over towards 4 Thrives. They knew that it's not likely in the near future they're going to be getting many more death crates, and they need that util. They need that ammo to carry on inside of this match. Tiamba though looming off in the wings.
Had to restock and get themselves ready for what's yet to come. Tiamba, they've been doing a pretty effective job of harassing a lot of our other squads from distance as well throughout the past couple minutes, keeping pressure on them. Playing a little bit safer here in their setup. Window peek with good eyeline onto some of the other teams. Scarface on the long wrap around back up the coastal ridge over towards the bridge side, going to be coming in from the back near Vitality and Flash. This is his angle on the move. Ooh, spotted out. Starting to lose his HP bit by bit. Got to drop down to the deck and hope that he can hold on.
Kind of unsure how he's lived this long. I mean, Tops has got to know someone's mover here, the pitter-patter of the footfall. Bows at distance. Scarface is instead just going to go for the heel. Tops pulls the pin. He should know. It should be right on the edge of the blue here. Good airbush will do the trick. Ruins the amount of healing that came through there. Aura from the sidelines, though, will get sleepy and over towards Bows. Top, though, is the one to refrag over towards that. Tiamba Aching moving forward. Gets behind that radio tower. This is a good spot to aggress over towards Aurora on. But more importantly, hold out on the southeast side. Good nades again. Goodness me, Aurora's having none of it.
You feel the base on that one. More coming as well. Airburst over the top side, trying to arc it round the corner. Ooh. Eagles crossing his fingers, hoping the smoke is enough to get the pickup play back on Aching to stay alive.
I wonder if they're going to push this, Jackie.
I mean, with a molly, you could. You get the spread on it, just try follow up off the back. You know they're weak.
Oh, man. I think they just wanted to get the flush, at least, but not meant to be. That's a lot of nades invested there for basically nothing. Aching's going to send back one of his own. Now they're fully set up over here on the radio tower. Couple of Molotovs, maybe a bit more damage done. chip damage from the nade should be good enough. So start to bombard now. They're splitting the difference on these ones. They know they have to go for one side, and it is over towards Doc. Survives the first blaster shrapnel, and should survive the second.
So many nades though. And Doc, although the shrapnel hits him in the face, he takes that peek and shuts one player down once again. 6 nades thrown out for no real follow-up from it. So it goes both ways for either of these two teams. Top with the instant adjustment back over onto E Arena. No, he's being collapsed upon from 2 sides between this team.
Schweppes now. Get the res on of E Arena. E Arena, you know, actually haven't been too bad. I think for the points they currently have, it's 19, but they've been consistently up towards at least the top 8 every game. Vitality still taking more shots here. Tiamba is the one to take down tops. Tiamba's playing as a 4-man, and genuinely the way they weather the storm here versus Aurora, they have a place to play inside the circle going forward. It's more about dealing with the couple of players inside of that shack right there. And it's hard to line up those nades past the side. You always have that angle of Doc to worry about. He is so critical to his other 2 teammates living.
Schweppes with a bit of a forward scout play in the buggy. Reading onto it. QZZ was knocked towards the backside. Thing is though, they've been here for so long and they've invested so many nades, so many bullets, that they're starting to run dry and can't actually push out to get themselves anything. Availability of crates becoming an all-time premium. The longer this goes on, the worse it gets for Tiamba.
Yeah, they needed a break, honestly, and that break was going to come in, be able to get those shots, get those nades over towards Aurora. E Arena making a massive swing. Mormon's got 5 nades to play around with too. QZZ finds shots over towards Vitality. They are trying to stop 2 teams from squeezing them together. But this is a good play. This is actually a good play. It's a desperation play, but it's one that's very much needed for Tiamba right now as A-King moves in. Razak last step alive. Where's the rest of the team? QZZ moves up. How is Razak living this?
Oh, this is unbelievable. Razak raising hell amidst the chaos as he stands strong to punish back. Vitality looked like it was all said and done, but they pop off on that one against Tiamba's clash in, knowing they needed to shut them down to get themselves any sort of ammunition, any kind of supplies to play on. And it does not work how they wanted.
Wild stuff. The Arena now. Send some nades in. Joel's the first to fall off the back of that. They have just played this game nice and slow from that northern side, trying not to get too involved in things. They've been saving up these nades for that end game. Mormon will move in and just completely cleans them out. This guy's been unbelievable with the S12K today.
Finishes off the stragglers. Slowly but surely, the team's exit stage left and the final fight begins to have itself set up. Furia coming back in with some of that firepower we had seen prior. Good damage onto E Arena. It's Tony K that's knocked behind the hard cover. Joker looks to wrap over to see if he can save his mate and put them back into an equal situation. 3 versus 4 right now. Schweppes warding off Ayala.
Igor's Mormon still coming out strong. He wants more on the game, and they are delivering. Igor's down, big player on the squad. Now it's time for the likes of Ayala as well as Chief to stand up tall. E Arena, they saved all their potential up for that late game, though. We saw how much ammo they still had more, how many smokes they still had remaining. This team basically played this one out for the chicken dinner. For E Arena, it's sort of not worth it unless they get the chicken dinner on this one. The amount they saved up, 5 nades still in the hand of Schweppes. Getting a second place is nice though, but yeah, it's this open ground, disgusting to work with. Furia is lining up for a big old bombardment from E Arena in the near future though.
As he go down, man, it's kind of so brutal because he really has been this pop-off player for the team. Is that going to be enough of a deficit to really make this one uncomfortable?
For Igors, he's just providing all the information back all the time. Chief moves up over towards the loot crate. The nade has to be invested. Oh man, don't use that on that. Yeah, good. I was thinking that he was going to send it over towards Igors. But he is just calling every single time they pull the pin on this one. When to move and when not to. Finally, the play zone takes him out, and Fury is blind again.
You lose your eyes in the back line and have to rely on your gun skill now. A standoff between these two teams with open space in front of them, waiting to be crunched forth. Silence with the big guns in the back line, ready to spray. A lot of nades invested, dashing them in towards the middle here.
I mean, they're mega blind. I mean, they can't have moved that far. Unless Igor's giving it back the worst information in the world, but... Yeah, I mean, for Fury, I think there's a little bit of scaredness of that front line being aggressed upon. Schweppes pulls the nades. We are playing battleships right now. Grenade to E5. You missed by a mile.
Just dashing them out. He's gone wide, man. Start forest fire out in this field of Erangel right now. Be the best opportunity for them. That one actually hits.
He's having to drive into it, though. Okay.
Assist.
I mean, I think we could just wait on these nades. There's plenty of time to wait on this one. E-Arena can play off the back of the tree in the near future. Ayala's just going to swing round, right?
Not how I expected the first domino to fall, but that's Ayala going in and opening things up with an advantage for E-Arena.
This is PMWC here at EWC. There's been an end game. It has been an end game. Igor's confused everyone. Silence now. Trying to be as quiet as possible. Decent Molotovs, these ones, actually. Trying to catch them on the rotate out. MG3 could make all the difference. Joker's about to send this nade back into the blue.
A little bit of a pre-fire. Problem is, the info goes both ways. Silence got a good read of what angle they're actually playing from now.
Oof. He actually did.
Oh, okay. Chief with a peek up. There you go. Follow up off the back of it. Let's see if they can deal some damage. Silence peeks up. Warning shots out. Low on health. Got about half left to play with. Runs in towards the tree. He's got the shotty in his hands now. Yeah, all right. It's all kicking off here. They're going to be able to find it through in the end. E-Arena do clutch on. A bit of a topsy-turvy one, but a chicken dinner they'll still be proud of.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you, really? Good game from E-Arena. I think that the game plan was great. I think everyone confused one another right at the end. Igor's, as he went down, I think he might have thrown out some information that was maybe less than useful. Unfortunate stuff. To be fair, whilst he was still alive, they had a real good pinpoint on what E-Arena was doing. So I am joking. It's a joke, guys. I do think Igor's a great player. But yeah, still a weird endgame.
Yeah, it was a lot of utility investment with not too much information. Kind of felt like it was, we don't want to push, so we're just going to lob everything.
Yeah.
And then have that respectful gunfight once we get in your
exactly,
face.
because I do think that for E-Arena, they just wait a little bit longer, play up towards the tree line. With the amount of nades they had, they could have blanketed the entire thing. But even then, they were like bouncing them out into the blues. It's a little strange. Was a little strange. And you're right. I also did not expect that to be the first domino to fall, which was just Isla just getting mega impatient.
After all that waiting, it was kind of really like a curveball just came in. Swift gut punch. Didn't expect that.
I know they're behind. I'm just going to go for it. All right. Confirmed. That's where they are. You're dead, Isla. That's where they are, lads.
Yeah, I got the info.
Okay.
Got the info.
Info gained. Sick of playing battleships. But yeah, overall, I think if we look a little bit prior into that game, I think Aurora, the way they set themselves up, not bad, but there was a couple of moments where it got real hectic. I think a lot of teams made it far into that end game. Tiamba play out that radio tower really, really well. Even I think Tiamba's decision making does require bringing up a little bit. The fact that they decided to push over towards Vitality in that moment, the play almost works, but the speed at which they do it, like, we're getting crunched right now, we have to just fly over towards this team and take them out. They have no qualms about just fully going for it. I really like that, and I think that that's the type of playstyle that's going to win you games more often than it loses them.
No, absolutely. I think, again, that was one where it was like Razak just kind of popped off on the hold.
Yes.
It was, honestly, it was better play from him than it was bad play from them. He just popped off on a solo mission where it's like, oh, fair play. You've actually kind of owned us there.
Yeah.
But what the play was meant to do was great. They needed ammo, they needed supplies, and they went for it. So
absolutely.
It was a head-on call.
It was the right thing to do. And the right thing for us to do right now is to go for a little moment with the boys over on the stage. And we'll be back real soon.
Powers here at PMWC 26, joined by John Allen, Kalaris, and Neptura, and we're playing a round of Hot Drop Darts.
Ooh, we're going to be getting stuck into the board, hopefully. Maybe not for some. Some are having a bit of trouble during practice, but we're going to be taking some shots at the board. The person with the least score is going to have to give their hot take, so let's jump into it. You guys, I think you two have to go first.
I think we get Nep up there first. Let's get Nep's in a prime position for this. I feel like I'm in the danger zone, but let's see.
Get ready to dodge.
Oh, it's your best one. Yeah, that's
it's on the board.
Thank you very much.
Shuffle up.
Thursday.
And Kalaris up to the bat. Oh, okay. Okay, all right.
Okay. This is good. This is good. There you go, James. There you go.
Shuffle in.
Thank you. Don't hit me, please. Oh, it's a 17. Currently, Nep's in last with 6.
No way. Oh, a double 17.
It's a triple 17.
It's a triple one, I don't know.
That means Neptura is last.
Are you serious?
Go. Yep. What's your hot take, Neptura?
My hot take is that the Uzi is a bad weapon and shouldn't be played.
There you go.
That's it. Wait.
This one was Neptura.
That one was mine.
In the bullseye.
No, it's in 25.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's you.
Well, she's already done a hot take now, so.
Wait. You did that on purpose.
No, I didn't do anything. All right, here. Go on.
John starting us off. Let's see. Oh, hey.
A 5.
It's
Not
in.
bad.
That's all that matters, really.
It's on the board.
Here we go.
I haven't missed.
Kalaris now. Forearm strength. It's good. It's good.
Ooh. That could be a treble.
That's nice.
Get out of the danger zone. The splash zone's coming for you, Kale.
Good maths.
What? Oh, that's a triple.
Okay.
Triple 3.
God. All right, there you go, mate. Take this.
I'm pretty sure it's currently the lowest. Wait, no, it's not.
I'm
John's
on a
the
5.
lowest. Yes, John's the lowest.
Or is that a 2? It's a 5, I think.
It's a 5.
Oh, and that's a 2.
That is a 2.
I've been saved by the upside down
It's true.
version of my own
Jackie,
number.
it's your turn.
There you go.
Okay. Hot take. Dino Park and Vikendi, infinitely better than Ronda. I miss it. Bring it back.
Oh, okay.
All right, considering I actually lost the first round, I should probably do a hot take because I cheated you out of it. I'm so sorry. Tiamba will not win PMWC despite looking really good.
I feel like I've got to follow in with a hot take as well.
Oh, okay.
I feel like over-reliance on ARs, nonsense. I want DMRs in, give the players a little bit more expression in the secondary slot, you know? Those submachine guns, something else popping in. Give a little bit more individuality. That's what I want to see.
I like it.
Don't give me this mic. You know what I want? I want all of your opinions from the viewers at home. You in the chat. Tell us what you think. Let us know right here, right now. What are your controversial takes?
Nothing's ever what it seems. The circle's closing in. Can you feel it?
if I'm not mistaken, Niftura, I think you actually won at darts. And I think you got that chicken dinner.
I did.
You were lied to, but
very mad.
In this last game, E-Arena wasn't lied to, Max, because E-Arena came out with the win.
I never know how to react to an E-Arena win now since that Rondo 39-pointer. I'm like, okay, that's great. That's a cool win. But what's next? No, it genuinely was a good game. It was a very open-ended finish between Furia and E-Arena. I think it was kind of even-steven until eventually Ayala got a little bit overly aggressive on that push. Then he gave them an advantage, and E-Arena using every resource they had available to get that win. Good to see, but again, I need to see that continue in your next coming matches.
Take it away, Lace. I know you've been wanting to talk about this team for a minute.
Hey, Ayala, I am revoking your driver's license because I was waiting for the Furia drive by Max. E-Arena, obviously, they deserved that win because of Furia and their driving and not taking that position early on. I mean, I liked the way that they sort of held out E-Arena early on in the map. Yeah. They had Silence kind of scouting Vitality's movements right down at the south side. So this was such a better play from them. They're actually defending and looking where other teams are sort of pushing into that position. They had such a strong split hold. Obviously, a little bit of tunnel vision coming out of some of the players there, and then I don't know what the vehicle situation was, and you could hear me screaming in the back, he's like catching nades with the vehicle as well, and I'm like, what plan is this? They had such a strong position after getting like
this one.
Yeah, after moving their way into zone on the rotation on the southern side, Max.
Look, I'll
give you my back, Niftura. I'm really upset.
I know what happened, actually. I was talking to Knight. I saw him as we were leaving the talent room, and I asked him, like, what was the play with Ayala? And he said the idea for Ayala was to get an off angle on the team and actually catch them from behind. But then he saw two players and he got scared. And that's the thing is, right, lack of information will make you do these kind of mistakes. So it could have been a good idea, and catching nades didn't work out. It could have been great, but unfortunately, two-player setup was exactly what E-Arena needed in case of those kind of pushes coming their way.
That was just a big, something I like to call, what the Furia. WTF, because that's exactly what ended up happening with that one. I've been working on that one all day, especially with the way that they were playing earlier. There was a squad, though, that was able to put up a good amount of eliminations, and it was none other than Aurora. Aurora, once again, Niftura being able to back it with the limbs, even though they wasted a lot of utility with Tiamba.
They did wait. It was a big old red zone, and it was fairly unnecessary. However, it does get you those points, right? And it's been really nice to see them actually, because I think in the group stage, right, we saw them just doing just enough to get into the top 5, just enough to get to where they wanted to be. Now we're seeing true Aurora here. Now we're seeing the team that we're used to seeing, and I'm really, really enjoying that. I think they've actually played a lot better, right? They're very even. They're not splitting. Doc's not doing his thing. He's staying with his team, and Rifus, Enzio, we've seen some really cool off angles from them, so very happy with them.
And something that I enjoy seeing there, especially out of that graphic, Max, is Top being able to bounce back. Remember, earlier in the previous match before this one, Top was on top of the bridge. It didn't end up working out for him, but 4 elims out of him, a person that has been an MVP before on an international finals, that's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, really happy. I mean, the best way to describe it is what you said, Niftura. They became a red zone at that moment in that game, and I love the way that any team would get in contention of their zone, they would start just nading them to hell and back. So Aurora playing it really well. I am still not sold on their performances so far. I feel like there's still a lack of fragging power that they used to have in the past. Doc is underperforming quite significantly. So Top, GG's, I'm loving it. Zol too had some great moments, especially in that Rondo. But Doc, he's still sleeping right now. He needs to wake up.
Wake up, Doc. Wake up. Just make sure you don't start going away from your team, because that's when things ends up falling apart for Aurora. But Aurora, honestly, 36 points, currently tied. But the tiebreaker does go to E-Arena with that win that they ended up getting. Tiamba, though. Tiamba right now, the aggressiveness that we've been seeing out of this team, if you want to give the mic to Lace, they're currently putting up those numbers, Lace, because 27 eliminations for that squad and only 4 placement points.
Yeah, I see that. This is what I'm saying. They're finding those fights. They're gathering those eliminations, finding a nice power play position, but then unfortunately losing it, which is where we see the decline in placement points. But obviously this is still a really good trend for them, especially coming out of survivals into this sort of scenario, and to have that amount of points and that sort of trajectory is incredibly good for them. But of course, we got to bring it back to kind of the smash rule and the way that you have to gather these eliminations. It's fine. It's good to do it, obviously, today, but then we got to see more of those placement points and those wins out of them to be able to take more than that.
100%. And another team that's currently doing that, Max, is none other than Nongshim. And I know you weren't quite happy with what Nongshim, especially Human, was doing that last game.
Yeah, initially I love the way they initiate the fight onto, I think it was Orangutan in that gas station. I'm like, okay, you've got some solid off angles, I like it, they're pushing the fight. But the thing is about off angles, they lose effectiveness the longer the fight goes on. And I think it was one of the play on the Harry Potter tower, he had a great line of sight, but eventually Orangutan know you have that line of sight, so they're not going to peek you that aggressively. That would be the prime time for them to regroup, fully commit to the fight and send it, and hopefully come out on top. But they're very slow to respond to these moments, and I'm very upset with their opening performances so far.
Yeah, one team talking about aggressive, talking about people committing to a fight. We saw Nigma Galaxy and Ida finally commit to the hot drop, and if I'm being completely honest, I don't want to see it. I don't care about it. Leave that ego to some other time, because right now it's going to be hurting those two teams.
Yeah, it is, and we did see Fourth Thrives take advantage of what's been going on there, right? Just dropping in on them, trying to get a few limbs, and then move back to their position. They were trying to punish that as much as possible, just because it's kind of silly. In the finals, maybe day one you kind of get away with it, but keep on doing it, it's not going to work out. Fourth Thrives knew that, and you know, they might not be the only team to take advantage of that if the playing path's a little funny. If that keeps happening, other teams might just third party that.
Yeah, they will end up third partying that. We saw there towards the bottom of the leaderboard as well. Godlike, OG currently not being able to put up those numbers. Those are two teams that are looking to bounce back, but right now we are halfway through that mark. Lace, any team that has surprised you so far?
I would just like to say that, like, I'm very proud of you, Furia. You know, I know I was a little bit mad in that situation, and I was surprised about you in the first couple of games, and I just want to make it note that that was a much better performance, but still I'm taking your driver's license away.
That was a good performance. Next time you ever take my mic, Lace, this big old chicken is going to be hitting your head once again. But as we're getting ready here for match 4, let's send it over to none other than Barney and Luti.
Luti, yeah, you know how last week we were talking about how to win PMWC?
Oh, yeah, the big secret I told everyone.
You gave everyone some incredible insight. For those
indeed.
of you at home that were listening. Teams were listening as well. Aurora Gaming, Tianba, the Arena, they're playing very well at the moment.
Indeed.
But let's break it down into the finer details.
Oh, it's better, yeah.
I want to ask you a little bit more. Okay, so what's the best map to capitalize on points?
I mean, there is different teams with different play styles, so it depends.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, it depends, yeah. How about vehicles for late rotations, getting into a good position? What's the best vehicle to use?
The horse, the buggy, and so different maps, so it depends.
It depends.
Yeah, as well. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Utility, okay, so end of game, smokes, nades, medical packs, bandages. What's the best thing to have in your arsenal?
I mean, depending your situation with the cycle, so I will answer, it depends.
It depends.
Yeah.
Okay. Luti.
It's not that easy, you know?
Luti. What's the best gun in the game?
I mean,
let me guess. It depends. Sacre bleu.
No, Barney. Everyone knows it's a P90. No, depends. Okay, back to you, casters. I hope you're ready. It depends.
And yeah, he's right. The P90 is where it's at, but we are here live in the finals, getting ready for the last 3 matches.
Absolutely. We have got a great day unfolding before us. We've had some real step-ups from a lot of teams coming on through, some great rotations, some insertions, some side swipes into those zones. That S2G hovercraft double roll-up, that was looking pretty, but we're going to be sending ourselves once again over to Erangel to find ourselves one more chicken dinner.
Let's see who's gonna get it. Yeah, I mean, this is it, the last Erangel of the day, and it's time to put up some serious points. I mean, we're still super early in this tournament, but we're already starting to see some teams, right, make some things happen. I was able to talk to one player in particular as we were getting into this game. I happened to see S-Power from Godlike. The hair is hard to miss. I went up to the man and said, hey, you know what, give me 3 words before we get into this next match. And he said, the domination begins.
Ooh, using a whole word on the. That is bold. That's the sort of confidence that you want to see coming through. For Godlike, they do want to try and push a little bit further up those tables, try and get in the competition for those top spots. Of course, having only seen 3 matches, we are still in a fairly uncertain situation, in a state of flux when it comes to those tables. Obviously, some performances standing out more than others, but it's definitely still achievable because of the fact that we have got an 18-match set, right? We've been playing so far on 12-match sets time and time again, but moving over to that expanded 3-day approach, that 18 set, that's where consistency really comes into play. So it's teams that are able to earn 6, 7, 8 points on those games that are going to be the teams that will take those top spots, those podium positions.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, it's all about putting up as many points as you can early on, and consistency is going to be the king here at the end of the day. I mean, we saw in the group stage, right, E-Arena, 39 points in one single game, and they weren't even able to make it. I mean, straight to the finals. They had to deal with the survival stage, and let's be honest, I mean, luckily we're able to get here, right? So,
oh, yeah.
I mean, but they're crushing it now. They did a great job in that last game, right? And so they're off to a strong start. Let's just see if they're able to keep that pedal to the metal. Aurora starting off strong is really good because historically, they've always taken a long time, right, to really get warmed up. But for them to put some points on the board early just goes to show that come finals time, they're adjusting their strategies and it's working out for them.
Maybe able to finally claim a title spot, you know, that's what they're going to be looking for. Plenty of other teams looking to do so as well. I know there's plenty of fans in the crowd for